Giggity.
Oh, come on.
He cut you off this time, boy. He cut you off. We're talking about the Umbra for this episode. Is that Ryan?
I
Yes.
think?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ryan's back after getting a fist fight with a pizza man. He gets very ornery when he gets his order wrong. He ain't tipping that guy either. So we're here today to talk about the Umbra. So this is the world where you can basically do whatever you want as a storyteller, but there are some rules to it. Where we have to split this from Arcadia, because Arcadia in Changing to Dreaming is you think it and it exists the setting. That's what Arcadia is supposed to be. But Arcadia is based around individual people's thoughts, where you have somebody that fantasizes they're a pirate. You have a pirate world, and then that eventually hits an end, and then you go into someone else's dream where they're thinking, oh, I'm a knight. Now we're playing a medieval fantasy. Okay, now we're in Call of Duty. Okay, now we're in a Pokemon game, and so on and so forth with Arcadia. With the Umbra, it's more of a collective consciousness, where collective ideas of a people and a place and a culture will decide what an umbral realm is supposed to look like. So Arcadia is individualistic, and the Umbra is collective in terms of what the environment looks like. And on top of that, we're going a little bit into spirits. We talked about this a little bit with Axis Mundi, but we didn't go. That was more about totems itself than going into spirit. Like, we did talk about spirits. We don't need to talk that much about spirits again, unless it particularly pertains to a certain realm. But we never actually talked about the Umbra in that episode, did we? No.
I don't think we did, no.
So going into this, there are multiple layers to the Umbra, while at the same time the Umbra is infinite. Where, Kyle, how big is the universe?
It's big. It's really, really big. You can't find the
Infinite
end
space.
of it.
No, infinite space. With a theorized heat death, but who's going to say if that heat death actually happens?
It likely will not.
Because after all, science, you don't find the answer the first time, and then that's your answer forever. We're constantly finding out that we're wrong about stuff and having to make corrections. Because Kyle, how many times was the sun supposed to burn out by this point, given scientific predictions?
It's supposed to be in like 30 billion years or something crazy like that.
And like from what I've heard, like the sun is supposed to have burnt out 20,000 times over by this point, but it's still here.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, because how do we know how this stuff works? It's like we can actually go to the sun and talk to it, except in Werewolf you can. And as it turns out, spirit powered.
Yeah.
Which answers a lot of the questions here. Johnny, where is the Umbra?
It is everywhere and nowhere at the same time. It's an abstract world, so to speak, that runs parallel to our world.
I was gonna go with a joke, but you ruined it.
That's
the joke was the joke was space is a lie. Heaven no, space is a lie. Heaven isn't true and hell is real.
That's what the Nefandi will tell you, yeah.
But that is reality, because you want to enter the Umbra for real and you don't got any magic powers, just simply keep going up.
Because after all, you do have afterlives in the Umbra, but you can't visit heaven. You can't go there, but you can go to hell.
Yeah, hell is real, but you have to earn to the heavens.
And as far as we know, depending on your interpretation with Werewolf the Apocalypse, there might not be one. Where the Shadowlands might be your final destination, and that might be the spot where you want to stay and hold on to for as long as you can.
Oof.
Depending on your interpretation. Where that leads to creepy stuff like Orpheus, where you get into stuff like Grand Maw, but we'll talk about Orpheus some other day, or I would really love to do with some Orpheus content. Because after all, that has a 5-part story to it, and I would love to go over every individual book, but going into this.
Orpheus is actually pretty cool.
It is really cool. It's Yu Yu Hakusho, the game.
Yeah. All right. Bet.
Yeah. In terms of stuff, we're doing the Extinct Changing Breeds episode next week. I've swapped out Eden for 3 HB. Eden's in the doghouse, and I'm not happy saying that. But For this episode, we are joined today by Greed. Thank you for coming again. Greed's got this book in his lap as we speak, and we've got Shanny
I
out
the
of
book in my lap. It's specialty.
and we've got Shanny out of Beagles, or is it Isle of Bagels?
I believe it's bagels.
Uh-oh.
Dick.
I mean, I do love bagel. I didn't even notice until you said it. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yes. Johnny is very bad at having of sneaky people's name changes.
The Mazel Tov and Happy Hanukkah.
But it's June.
Yeah, it is.
Close enough.
Well, Kyle, do have a Jewish holiday coming up soon.
I don't know actually. I'm a very bad Jew. So you're asking the wrong Semite.
Your mother's side of the family is very Semitic.
Oh yeah. Let's see. What I think Purim's in April. I don't know if there's one in the summer.
We ain't got nothing until Rosh Hashanah in that September.
Yeah, I think so.
You've got a massive gap in holidays.
Yeah, we really do. There
Yeah.
aren't all that. Well, actually, it's June 8th. That means Shavuot was on the 1st of the 3rd.
Yes. Nobody has anything to celebrate during the summer.
Well, there's Tisha B'Av, which is August 3rd, which is the reminder of the destruction of the first and second temples in Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more like a day of remembrance, not like a full holiday.
And the third temple exists. It's called Temple OS.
Oh, Jesus.
You just gotta download it.
Yes, Jewish holiday.
We can celebrate the day of Ryan in the middle of June.
There it is.
Hell
His birthday's
yeah.
coming up soon.
Oh, happy birthday, Ryan.
Don't believe those lies.
Ryan, post your Cash App in the description and send money to Ryan.
No, don't.
Don't believe these lies. My birthday is not coming up soon.
Put your PayPal in the description. Dox yourself.
No.
All right. Let's go ahead and let's get into this. I kind of want to have the song play in the background, but no, I'll eventually get sick of it if I do. Yes. Look Outside's a good game. It's been on my mind rent-free for 2 weeks now. Get into this. All right. So we are using Umbra, the Velvet Shadow, for most of this book. Umbra, the original release of Umbra, it's good, but W20, I will give credit where it's due. This is the better book in comparison because it's a lot more organized. Where W20, I want to look up something about the Penumbra. Okay, here's the Penumbra section, and then here's all the little details just in case you're looking for a specific part of that Penumbra. Well, thanks. The original book, I want to look up the Penumbra. Okay, here's the vague area of pages where you might be looking for information and you might find it. Great. I love the original release of White Wolf, but man, those books can be hard to navigate sometimes.
Yeah, first edition is very kooky. Like, don't always trust first edition books. Like half the time, that shit doesn't exist anymore.
Because I do love first edition the most. Second edition is really good, but has a few hiccups here and there. W20, you tried, and then fifth edition does not exist. That book isn't real.
Nah.
The books aren't even good enough to make episodes on. There's not enough content in them.
Damn,
It's like Shard Nation. Okay, the book's gay, and I don't mean gay as in homosexual. I mean gay as in retarded, and then that's my thoughts on it.
Okay, now, I'm a little tempted to read. And that's from W5, right? The one that doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's just the boring book that nobody can have any fun with.
Not like you can somewhat from people where I can tell that people play Vampire Fifth, but
Yeah, I can see that, and those people are wrong, but they're still enjoying themselves because there's at least something to do in Vampire 5. Hunter 5, I have never seen a game of Hunter 5th Edition run on Roll20, and then W5, I don't even see how you can have fun with it. And how long has that game been out by this point? 2 years? I've only seen one game of it on Roll20, and that's it.
What? Damn.
One, and that's it. Everybody else is just playing W20. Alright, so going into this, alright. The episode proper. So, Kyle, how do we get into the Umbra?
That depends on what you are. If
I am a werewolf, what do I do?
You look into a mirror and then step to the side.
Alright, and this is known as?
Stepping sideways, typically.
Amazing. Who wrote this shit?
Yeah.
If I am a mage, how do I do it?
you would need, I think, at least 3 pips and spirits, and then cast a spell. And if the spell goes off, then you step sideways.
And it takes the form of a portal where you just step right into it and other people can follow you.
Yes.
Depends on your.
Come with me on a magical adventure, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. If I am a wraith, how do I do this?
No.
There's one specific pocket you can do it in with the Shadowlands. If we're considering that part of the Umbra.
You can only go to a lower Umbra if you're a wraith.
Yeah. And that's it. And then you can use Embody to, in reverse, get out of the Umbra and be in the real world for a short time only. And then you're eventually dragged back into the miserable place known as the Shadowlands.
Yeah.
As a changeling, how do I do it?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Pretty easily, really.
There's portals left behind, known as Trods, where you just walk down the path and eventually we're in the Umbra. Specifically Arcadia.
Man, they got it so freaking easy.
Yeah.
You could just make a portal to space. You could just do that.
Because they have Spirit Link. Behold.
Yeah.
If I'm a demon, I just need to be a fiend, and then behold, reality is my plaything.
Or, you know. Yeah.
And then how do I do this as a vampire?
You need a Tremere. I don't know what circle of Tremere thaumaturgy you need, but you need a Tremere.
You need to be a Tremere, a Setite, or a Zemichi.
How do the Setites do it?
Each of them have spirit magic. Each of those tribes have a spirit magic. Or, make your own version.
Because the Tremere stole most of their stuff from the Zemichi, but they did copy the Setite's homework as well.
Yeah. That's the reason why they have specific notes.
After all, the Setites validate everything that the Order of Hermes says, and they know about the worm, they know about the demiurge, but they are horribly misinformed as to how to fight it.
Horribly.
And we have different layers to this cake. Shall we pull up the map of the Umbra?
Ah, shit.
That sounds interesting.
Shit.
Because Maze the Ascension has a map of it. And it is crazy looking.
Well, I mean, it's the Umbra.
And hopefully it's in good resolution. It's not. It's not in good res.
Enhance.
Man. Okay. And enhance the image. Now, when I look at this, what? Okay, so I can read some of this, Kyle. You're probably going to have to zoom in on this.
Okay. Where's it at?
So here's the map, ladies and gentlemen. Kyle, make sure we're not on the splash screen and people can actually see this.
Oh, yeah. It's I've got it up. It's actually on the okay, it's a little bit hard to read.
Yeah. It's a little bit crunchy. I'm going to see if I can find a higher res version while we're talking about this.
Yeah.
But I found another one that's a guy taking a picture of his non-colored book. I kind of feel like it feels like a little bit more dreamy like this. It's 9.37 megabytes. All right.
It's a big damn image.
Yeah, so there it is.
Oh yeah, it is literally somebody just took a picture of it, but it's a lot easier.
That is.
Yeah. As you can tell, the Umbra is really wacky.
Yeah, and this is what we know is in the Umbra. There's still stuff out there that we're still discovering.
Don't touch Oblivion. That is actual heat death existence itself. Don't touch that.
Yes.
What really tripped me out were the planets. Like there's an actual
Yeah. Where the planets themselves are the Umbra and the real world at the same time.
Yeah. Many people are actually confused by this. When you say, what if you go into space? When you say, yeah, there is no space. That's the Umbra.
It's technically yes.
Yeah, when you say, but you'll die if you go to the sun. No, if you go to the sun, you will talk to the sun. You will just die instantly if you try.
Because after all, space is the magical land where you cannot breathe. And that's it.
Yeah, that's because Soul's a dick. And he does not like to be talked to.
And in case you're wondering what we were talking about with Horizon, I have another diagram for that too. Yeah. This one comes from the Void Engineer's book, Kyle.
Hey.
Check it out if you want to know what we mean by space.
Yeah, we'll talk about more. If you could tell, Umbra is very, very confusing.
It's a very abstract concept, so to speak. You get it, Ryan? You follow me? Nope.
Hell, there's places in Umbra that looks different to each person individually.
Absolutely, because I mean it when I say you can do whatever you want with the Umbra. You can do whatever you want. It's an abstract setting, so to speak. And then you have groups like the Alma and Gammon who make it their life's work to just map out every single bit of this, along with the Umbral pilots.
Yeah. One final thing for interrupting. There's many things inside the Umbra. Some of those things act like spirits, but aren't spirits.
There are other entities in the Umbra waiting for you. You remember the worm alien, so to speak, the Vujunka? Where I don't have a picture of them on hand, but I have pictures to something similar to what they look like.
Yeah. For example, here, this is mostly applied to mage players. You can go into the Umbra, come across this weird realm of spirit-like entities that act just like humans, but are somehow spirits at the same time not.
And they're twisted and they worship the worm and they look like this.
Oh yeah. Didn't we use this in the progenitors episode?
Yeah, we did. We did a picture that looks like that.
That is horrifying, though.
Yes.
I will say, if you want to play a game that is all that, there's this Slavic developer that made a survival horror game called Ill. It looks amazing.
It is.
You say it looks ill.
Yeah.
Yes, it's ill as shit, dog.
There's the Deadly Spawn is a really good movie. Gotta check it out. It's behold, would it be really scary if a giant worm bit my Achilles tendon and then didn't let go?
That's terrifying.
It is. It hurts watching that movie. It's got some painful scenes in it.
Yes.
But going into categories of the Umbra. So yes, we've got stuff. So this is the spirit realm. This is where spirits live. But not everything in here is a spirit, if that makes any sense to you. Where it's the same as explaining that all Tremere are vampires, but not every vampire is a Tremere. That kind of comparison. So let's go layer by layer is what we've got. The Penumbra. All right, Shanny, what is the Penumbra like? She is muted, by the way.
The Penumbra?
Yes.
It's essentially the stratosphere to the Umbra. It's like the next layer. Now,
yeah, it's the near Umbra is also what it's called.
Right.
Where, Kyle, this is where you've been sending us for most of your Ridge Cross Appalachia game.
Yes, because I mean, what the fuck am I gonna do in the Far Dreaming?
Where the Penumbra looks almost like a one-for-one copy as to what the world looks like. Now it has to buffer though, where you've got the Spirits of the Weaver. Mostly, it's the Pattern Spider doing this, that are constantly constructing and deconstructing and reconstructing what this place looks like. Where, behold, we have New York in 1776. What does it look like, Kyle?
Probably just like a lot of colonial buildings.
Okay, and then the Parent Spires built all of that, and then time passes, and now the buildings are taller. We gotta go ahead, demolish all those buildings, rebuild from the ground up. Okay, now there's skyscrapers. Okay, we gotta tear those down and build those from the ground up. Okay, now we've got the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building and that building. Okay, we're gonna build all these, and then and right before they finish building the World Trade Center, they blow it up.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
The ride never ends.
And then the Parent Spires have to take down that entire building, and then they build a new World Trade Center, and now they have to build that building all over again. Where not every building is constructed in the Umbra. If you are in a construction site in your game, and a building is being under construction where it's an apartment building that's almost finished in the real world, if you step sideways, you see the Parent Spider crew, so to speak, just starting construction. It's almost a fresh plot of land where at most only the foundation will be there when you go into the Umbra.
Yeah.
Because it takes a minute for the Parent Spider to catch up with you.
Yeah, a little bit.
And then when that building is complete, then you can do a one-for-one stepping between the Umbra and the material plane. But until then, you might say, hey, that BSD on the 16th floor of this building stepped sideways. I'm going to chase him. And then you fall to your death in the Umbra.
It's a clever little trap, isn't it?
Absolutely. Where Kyle, that whole heist idea with the Tremere, it sure would stink if we went to the Umbra to find out that the Parent Spires didn't build that building.
Yep. You literally step through and you just look down And then you'd hold up a sign that just says sucker on it, and then
Like the
just
Wile E.
fall
Coyote.
like Wile E. Coyote.
Don't
That
be a
is
sucker.
that is some Nuisha type thinking.
Danced free ideas in this episode.
Yes. The Nuisha really are just the Looney Tunes of the World Darkness.
And thank God for him.
The Nuisha are very funny, yes.
And you get to the near Umbra by using the mirrors, the waterway, like water, clear water you can see your face in, any reflective surface you can step through. Would you also count the eyeball of a person if you look really close into it? I think that might be pushing it, but I don't say no to it in my games if you want to use that.
Yep.
Well, actually,
Or
that
someone's
sounds,
glasses.
You can do that too.
That is a good way. But I won't lie here. The idea of stepping sideways using someone's eyes does sound really weird and really.
You think I contact with a man and then you see him disappear into the Matrix?
I, as the GM, might say roll a d10. If it's a 1, you enter the dreaming by accident somehow.
You entered the man's thoughts.
Yeah, I'll be that type of GM.
And if it is destroyed in the material plane, it will slowly be destroyed in the Umbra. So, say a forest is on fire in the material plane. Will it immediately catch fire in the Penumbra? No, unless there is a Bane involved in the fire, then it will mirror 1 for 1.
Yeah, because forests regularly get burnt and refilled. It's nature.
And if there is a forest or a sort of, say, natural structure that is super important to the Garou, they care about it too much for it to vanish, so it won't. And it will still be there when you step sideways. Where, say that Pentex gets their way and they destroy the Redwood Forest. The Red Talons will love the forest too much, and the Redwood Forest will still be there, but in the Umbra. You step sideways out of that forest, you'll just end up in apartment buildings. So, it's not a perfect copy, so to speak. It's close, but not perfect. And was the Penumbra filled with a lot of nature spirits, right?
Yep, usually.
No.
Where it used to be nature spirits, but now we're starting to get the Weaver's weird bullshit.
You can run across plastic spirits and it's spirits of man. All kinds of spirits, really.
So you can run to a man spirit. That's a man that represents a man.
I mean, you met one of those in Appalachia.
And Kyle, you can also run to geomids.
The what?
And they look like this.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate
Something like that.
They trying to be. Oh, she's trying to be.
Legit, you just run it. That the Weaver just makes these. She just makes
I know
these.
those are spirits of, well, they're spirits of status because all things of the Weaver are static, but I think they're shapes. I forget the exact thing, but I know what they do.
The Weaver, I can make whatever spirit I want. I'm just gonna make a cube and just give it life and drop it off to the Umbra.
That
That's
sounds
it.
like the Weaver, yes.
The Weaver is really boring. She's a really dry person to talk to. She's not as fun as you think she is.
Yep.
She's got a very dry sense of humor. You ask the Weaver a joke, she says, "Do you have a doll in your pocket?" You say yes. She says okay, and then that's a joke.
That's a terrible fucking joke.
Yeah. that's how dry the Weaver is.
Yep.
So you can imagine just how dry it would also be to talk to a geomid.
It basically just, I put it in meme chat, but I'm gonna put it in studio notes as well because this is copyrighted material.
That is.
They're trying to be wee.
I love that. The screams it makes. It was such good sound design.
That was,
Yeah.
I think, as much as the end of Evangelion pissed me off. Well, actually, no, the end of Evangelion was good. Episode 23 pissed me off.
You had to loop your head around it. You had to think about it.
Well, not just that. I'm like, I liked the fact that, there was the one episode where Shinji didn't want to kill himself anymore. I was okay with that.
Yeah.
Did he not want to kill himself? A lie.
Yeah, and then you saw the movie and you kind of lost it.
Well, no, I had a feeling that was going to happen.
Yeah. And so, what do these spirits leave behind, by the way?
Essence.
Plastic.
An airt. A little like air trail or snail trail that they leave behind where you can track a spirit, say, behold, is this rabbit spirit trying to escape me? No, it ain't, because it left behind this trail. And you can just follow the spirit.
Yep.
It's very easy to track down a spirit in the Umbra. And yes, this includes Banes. They also do this. And do other parts of the Umbra also overlap? Yes, Shanny. Does the Dark Umbra also overlap with the Penumbra? Because
Repeat that.
the Dark Umbra will also overlap with the Near Umbra, right?
Yes.
In the form of graveyards, medical centers, morgues, and spots that are haunted by wraiths.
Shit. What's the image
Little
for this?
wraiths.
Yeah. Now, is a wraith also a spirit?
Yes and no.
Not a spirit as in you could earn gifts from.
Because there is still a soul attached to the wraith, so to speak. It's both,
Yes.
so to speak. So it can be in the Umbra, but it does not belong in the Umbra. It belongs in the Shadowlands. But
Yes.
But then again, you'll have death spirits that hang around these areas, like, I don't know, the Death's Breath from the Soundstars book, where, Greed, do you remember what a Death's Breath looks like?
A death spirit?
That's the Death's Breath specifically.
I think we fought one of those in our, in our vampire game one time.
Remember correctly, they are 3-headed mist of darkness.
And if you breathe one in, you die.
Yeah, that was a little rough.
Amazing.
Wow.
I imagine they look very similar to the Cursed Devil from Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, I know we already did this video on spirits. I already know, but I just want to emphasize how weird the Emperor can be. Say you know the Spirit of America, right? Say you know the Spirit of America.
Yes.
You would think, I don't know, it's some old dude in a Patriot hat, that type of shit. Wrong. It's also a blonde bitch with blue eyes with a rockin' bod. Wrong. It's also Lady Liberty. Wrong. There's always just different kinds of spirits of America.
Where depending on how you perceive a concept will decide what the spirit looks like.
And there's just these two different spirits of the same thing, which is weird how that happens sometimes.
Where, say you're encountering a stag spirit, so to speak. Kyle, what is the detail that stands out to you the most about the stag?
The antlers.
So when you encounter a stag spirit, to you, the antlers will be the biggest thing about the stag, where they might be especially large, they might be ivory, shining, they might be gold, or you look at the stag spirit and the entire head is antlers.
That's kind of freaky.
That's it. Where the spirits tend to look very abstract when you talk to them. Where if there's a detail you fixate about them, that'll stand out. Or say the sound a stag makes will be extremely loud and distorted when you listen to it. Or if you're looking at the coat of a stag, it'll be especially shiny and reflective. Or the hooves, where it might have multiple legs when you talk to it. You know, things like that.
I think that's a wild spirit at that point.
Where Earthblood was a really stupid game, but I feel like it did Umbra right. It really did Umbra right when it came to spirits. Yeah, the terrible MOA environment video game.
Alright.
But I know like Werewolf the Apocalypse is all about environmentalism, but when that's all you focus on, it just comes across as really stupid.
It is. It's like there's more to every story. If you just focus on one aspect, it gets shit. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because there's this fort spirit you talk to. Kyle, here's an official screenshot as to what one of these spirits would look like.
Oh, is that from Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood?
Yeah, they actually did that right. They did the scene right.
Yeah, they did. So wait, which spirit is this?
It'll be a wood spirit.
Yeah, it seems about
That's
right.
cool as fuck.
Just what you would focus on, where the wood of the trees. Well, now we have a wood monster where you have all this wood bundled up into a cornucopia, and it's got arms and legs.
I can see that. That's actually a very good representation of a wood spirit. I can see that.
You also encounter this vulture spirit. It's got all these bones. It's got this bone necklace around its neck.
That's cool.
That forms a mane. It's all made out of bone. And it's really freaky looking.
Yeah, shit. We're getting off track.
Werevultures are technically wormish creatures, aren't they? They're mockery breeds.
Because there is the whole mockery breed like the werevulture, but we made that, but.
Well, yeah, the werevulture is not canon.
It's entropic by nature, but doesn't necessarily venerate the worm. Because after all, it is a natural. It's natural cycle where stuff needs to die, stuff needs to be scavenged and eaten and devoured and then puked up on as a self-defense mechanism.
Yeah. Shitting on your fucking leg, vulture.
Yes. We're going to make an animal that it spits on it just pukes on you to defend itself.
Oh yeah, I found this one thing. It's a very good looking map.
You found a map.
And I just found a good thing. I posted it in now.
Well, there we are. That actually works out pretty well. That's a trip right there. If you were smoking while you're looking at this.
Oh, good
yeah,
lord!
And you can tell there is a path to everything.
Just get like a 3D headset on and just smoke looking at that.
I grab my bass, start playing some clutch, some space grass while I'm doing this.
Oh shit! I saw. I am interrupting again. Where did we leave off?
We're now going into Chapter 2, the 13 Near Realms.
Ah shit!
So we have little sections in the Umbra that are in the Near Umbra, but they're about one specific thing. There are 13 of these, one for every playable werewolf clan, though they're not necessarily tied to any tribe.
Yeah, they're called the homeland or tribe land.
All right. The first one, Shanny, is the Abyss.
Oh, those actual realms. Never mind.
Yeah. Hell, so to speak.
Right.
We've briefly mentioned Demon of Fallen on the show before. Ryan, do you remember us talking about the Abyss?
Yes. Yes.
So what is the Abyss?
The Abyss is a place.
And what does it look like?
Blackness.
Yes, exactly. And is there anything else? Is there anything else besides the blackness?
No.
The crushing silence of never-ending sadness.
Where a good example of this, you're all familiar with Dark Souls, right?
I
know of it, I never played it.
I started it, and then I stopped playing it, and then I started it again, and then I stopped playing it again.
The Abyss in Dark Souls, I'm going to say, is a perfect example as to what the Abyss in Breath of the Apocalypse would look like. Where you go into this hole of darkness, and you just fall. And you don't stop falling. And it just goes on and on and on forever until you lose sight of the portal that you jump through. And when you think that this is going to be your eternal fate, that you're just going to be in free fall forever, you eventually touch solid ground. And then you can't tell where the ground is, you can't tell if there's a ceiling or walls. You just walk, and then eventually the stuff in the Abyss finds you. And when it happens,
then you cease to exist, because the Abyss is hungry, and you're in its bowels.
What lives in the Abyss, Kyle?
Absolutely nothing.
Well, there is one vampire in particular that lives down here.
Oh, the Sombra. Assume they're being sad.
Yeah, it's Sombra, where he's in here taking his depression nap that he'll never stop having.
Yeah. Word of warning: if you do run across something in the Abyss, you should run.
Yes.
And you will not be able to escape it in time because this thing will destroy you before you can escape.
Yes. Yeah, so what you're saying is we should run out of the Abyss?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the first module I ran beginning to end. That was fun.
I was there for the end of it because some reason.
And with the Abyss, if you were to avoid La Sombra and the spirits of darkness and death and destruction that live in the Abyss and wall off what's really down here, the demons from Demon the Fallen would also be here too.
Whoa! Yeah.
And you would not survive that encounter.
You wouldn't because death.
It's not just the demons too, because who's down there torturing the demons?
The demons.
Yes.
Specifically,
God's sanctioned angel demons that are doing all the torturing of the 666 fallen.
To clarify here is demons are trapped behind a wall. That is hell. That is the actual hell. Hell is real.
Yeah. Or eventually, hypothetically, if you were to survive that long in the Abyss, you would eventually come across a wall. You could hear the screams of the damned and condemned to eternal torture behind it, but you yourself cannot penetrate it.
Yeah, and don't get too close to that because due to some people's dipshittery, there is cracks in hell, and the demons can reach through those cracks and grab you and drag you into hell.
Thanks to 3 people whose names rhyme with Nurgle, Moloch, and Shaitan.
Yeah, so you can't get to hell.
Yeah.
You don't want to.
Yes. And once you're in, you will never get out. Telephone.
Yeah, I'm sorry
that.
But yeah, there's nothing you shouldn't run into. There are things that exist in the abyss. Okay, I got a better describe here. There are things in the abyss, but you can put down to one giant tome. Things that should not be. Yeah, I don't mean in the sense of like, oh wow, I'm the worm. No, these things do not give a fuck about like 50 to like 90% of the laws of existence.
It's stuff that God made that he realized that his creation was not, that what he created was not compatible with what's already existed. So he had to take it and put it somewhere, and that place was the abyss.
Yeah, you just literally run across actual cosmic glitches in existence.
You go into the out of bounds area of the video game, and you're killed by the glitch monster.
Yeah. Oh yeah, if you're a mage, you're not surviving in here.
No, you'll be just torn apart in seconds.
It's not good.
All right, so Kyle, you want run the abyss anytime soon?
What the fuck would I even do in the abyss?
You'd kill off all of our characters.
Yeah.
That sounds like a terribly depressing setting, and I don't think I want to do that.
See, that's when you start playing Wraith the Obsession. No,
Wraith the Oblivion.
Wraith the Oblivion. There we go.
Yeah, see, Wraith the Obsession would be.
I'm not saying people haven't gone to the abyss. Well, I mean, it's very possible. It's just the amount of things that can go there are very, very few and survive.
Let's see, and next up is the polar opposite, the ethereal realm. All right. So you remember how we described the abyss? This is the polar opposite. This is heaven, or at least what we think it looks like. So, Shanny, what do you think heaven looks like?
I would say like the generic pearly white gates and bright everlasting sunlight, or I guess it would be subjective depending on who you're asking. But I like my answer better.
Where pulling up like the general like common consensus to what heaven looks like, it's a lot of what you're describing, where the ground is clouds, everything is white and ivory and pearly, and there's gold everywhere, and there's stairs that go up and up forever, and there's light. It's just the land where light is just everywhere, and there's little angelic beings flying around, and everyone is happy all the time, right?
Yeah. Your heaven could be a choir of angels. Someone else's heaven could be a bunch of big titty angels.
Is simultaneously all the other heavens that you see in stuff like Hinduism and Taoism, where
so I was kind of right with my second answer.
Yes. I'm trying to remember what this place is called in particular. I think Hakugyokuro, where this is an afterlife where it is reserved for artists in the afterlife. And it's a land that is filled with eternal cherry blossoms and temples.
Get out of here, Japan.
It's Shangri-La, basically.
It is. So, name a heaven, and it exists here. Perfect, right?
Yeah, or you want to not even talk about heavens. This is just the heavenly realm, celestial realm, in the sense of actual what the word celestial means.
As for how do you get here, well, you need a moon bridge to do this. That's the only way. You find a moon bridge, you grab it, and then you'll just rapidly ascend and ascend and ascend and ascend until eventually the ride stops and you finally find a cloud you can stand on. Behold. And what lives here are star spirits, planetary spirits, the Celestines, and this is also the gateway to all the other planets. So you remember when we did our episode on Rage Across Heaven? This is how you get there.
Yeah. If you're from the technocracy, if you view the world like you view the technocracy, you will die because you can't breathe in outer space. But that's where technocracy telling you there is no oxygen.
You can't breathe in heaven. No.
Yeah, but that's a technocracy. But we're playing werewolves. There is no such thing as you don't need to breathe here. This is the realm of spirits.
You just believe you can live here forever, so you do.
Yeah, exactly.
And why don't we as werewolves just all ditch Gaia and just live here?
Because Gaia, out of all the planets, is the only one with life.
Right,
Yes.
because we still have a job to do. We have to take up responsibility and actually get something done.
Indeed.
You know, if God wanted you to just exist in heaven forever, why would there be an earth? You know,
Yeah.
there's something that you have to do first before you can go here.
Yes. You gotta go through hell before you can get to heaven.
You have to know what suffering is like before you can know what eternal joy is supposed to be. Where you find out what causes that kind of suffering and strife, and you averse yourself towards that and detach yourself from what causes that pain. That's the ultimate idea. Yeah.
That sounds really dangerous.
Yeah, if that makes any sense to you.
No, I just run across a fetish that you can find in the ethereal realm.
Ooh, is that was it Wildstone? Is that what's called?
Yeah, that's very dangerous. What this thing does.
I'd read what the Wildstone does.
Wildstone allows you to use the charm that wild spirits have called Break Reality.
Well, it doesn't seem busted at all. Just saying.
It's also a Gnosis 8 roll to use it.
Yeah, it's if you want to roll your Gnosis, but if you don't know what the charm Break Reality, it's basically like the charm Bend Reality. It's literally just say fuck reality around you universally.
You get a paradox-free spell, and you're on the same level of power as the Nexus Crawler.
Hey, Technocrat, watch this.
Yeah, this spell just basically allows you to do what all mages wish they can do at 5 dots.
So Ryan, if we were to have a story take place and it involves the ethereal realm, how would you do it? Yeah, it's the brainstorming section. I don't want this to just be us like reading this stuff clerically, because I want like some brainstorming to be involved. You got any idea about heaven, Ryan? There's a chronicle in that brain somewhere. I know it.
Definitely wouldn't be going there. Let's see.
Nope. You're gonna lock us out?
I got nothing.
Nope.
You'll get us kicked out, dude.
Yes. Kyle, you got any ideas
of what heaven should be?
Not like how would you use this in your game?
I feel like. I mean, you can't really fight in heaven, can you?
You can. This is heaven for everyone. This is
like,
there's also a heaven for honorable warriors.
Also,
well, yeah,
if you want to, you can have the whole Bayonetta game here. Where do you want the forces of heaven to be the enemy in your game? Well, you can do it in this system. Yeah.
No.
I mean, you could make it like Elysium, where it is, a warrior's heaven, where say you're like a stargazer traveling the realms, and you have to fight your way through Elysium in order to go from the battleground to the mountains of heaven.
Well, we're not in the battleground realm yet. We're still in at least in the ethereal realm.
Where, an idea that I got for this. Kyle, tell me if this is an image you can hear. Postnet this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can immediately hear the song and the sound effects in the back of your mind.
It's such a great level, though. I love that.
You don't do anything in it, but you just have like the one story moment. But I kept going back to this place as a kid just so I could see the stuff happening in it.
Me too. Me too. In all honesty, well, I mean, when you get to the end of the game, that's your pathway to get to Bowser's Castle. So,
where the way that would have the ethereal realm work, the whole myth of the shooting star.
Where if you spy a shooting star, you get to make a wish.
Yes, and that wish is the Wildstone that falls out of the ethereal realm, and you have to find the star that fell.
Yeah, actually, the Wildstones actually would count as a wish granting stone because of how fucking powerful they are. For reference here, these are level 5 fetishes.
Where these are end of Chronicle power level fetishes you've got.
These are things only Sept Elders would get their hands on. These fetishes are very powerful.
Because the level 1 isn't responsible enough to use this.
No.
Yeah, because like we told you, you literally could just bend the reality however you want to.
There. Do we have any other thoughts about the ethereal realm, or shall we move on to the next realm?
Next realm.
Arcadia Gateway, which is the land of the fairies, except it isn't. It's It's what we think fairies look like, but it's not actually the fairy realm. The real Arcadia is only accessible to the Trods. This is what we think fairies look like. It's the collective conscious ideas of what fairy tale looks like, where there's only one story of Rapunzel happening, there's only one story of Little Red Riding Hood happening, one story of 7 kids happening at one time. And then when that story ends, it begins again, but with a different variation.
Yeah,
It's the land,
this is.
it is the land of fairy tales as we understand them.
Haven't read this part yet, but I think you can actually reach the Dreaming, which is the land of the fairies, through the Arcadian Gateway.
You can, because this is where the Trods go through, so you can hijack it and go to Arcadia, but unless you have a point of glamour, you will forget what happens to you in that in Arcadia.
Yeah, you can use magic to shortcut that, but
Where you can find a way to exploit that as a mage, but everyone else, unless you got a point of glamour, you're either going to leave and eventually forget about what happened in Arcadia, or you will never come out again.
Arcadia, well, the Arcadian Gateway has been described as basically inhabited by the fairies who never got to the realm of the Fae before the gateway is closed.
And the way that Arcadia is designed, for anyone that's not a changeling, it's a Lotus Eater machine. Shannon, you remember the Greek myth of the Lotus Eaters?
Yes.
It's designed like that. Arcadia wants you to stay in it, and it will put stuff in front of you to lure you deeper and deeper into Arcadia until you never leave.
Yeah,
that tracks.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the home of the Fae.
Yeah, it's a whole
Hey.
it's like Peter Pan syndrome, so to speak.
We're not that bad.
And the whole thing
You're
with
faking?
yeah, you go there, you encounter guys like High King David, where he's a pretty chill guy, but then you talk to those who are eternal, and they are entirely self-serving with what they want.
Yeah, but if you want to play, but I recommend being a Fianna if you want to go here because of the pact the Fianna made with the Fae. You're actually not going to get stuck here. A white stag will actually lead you out of here.
And we went to this realm when we did Rage Across New York, where you weren't in Arcadia with a capital A, you were in the Arcadia Gateway when you stepped over.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Kyle and Ryan, we've been here before.
Yeah. Just because final thing, just because you
What,
this
from
isn't
the Scepter of Van Winkle?
Yes.
Yeah, it was fun.
Where some of the crazy kooky stuff that happens in Arcadia happens here, but you need multiple people to think of something before it happens. With Arcadia, it's just one person thinks it and it happens.
Just because this isn't the realm of the Fae does not mean you get to fuck around to find out here. You will get murdered.
Yeah. You also get fetishes over here like the fairy weapons and the fairy armor.
Yeah, for example, they left a little thing here. If you antagonize the Fae, you will find yourself being put in pincushion by silver arrows.
Absolutely, where it is very easy to get silver. How easy is it? Changing just thinks about silver and makes it. It's that easy.
It's that easy, bros.
It's that easy. It's that easy to kill this fucking gnat that keeps flying around my screen.
It's easy. That easy.
So, don't mess with the Fae. You don't want to mess with these guys. There's a reason why a lot of these Werewolf clans want nothing to do with the Fae.
Yep.
It's generally considered to leave them the fuck alone.
Even the Fianna and the Shadow Lords, who are the two that deal with them, say, proceed with caution whenever you talk to them.
Oh, you're right. Want me to read out the fetishes you can get from here?
Let's see. Shanny, do you want to look at fairy armor, and then Greed, you look at fairy weapons?
Sure.
Okay, hold on.
Greed, go over fairy weapons.
All right. If my thing will let me load, you bitch.
Load.
Okay, fairy weapons. It's a level 2 fetish, Gen 7.
Yes.
All fairy weapons are treated as earth versions of the same weapon, except when activated, they do aggravated damage. Also, fairy weapons never dull or break.
Cool, right?
Pretty nice.
See, and Shane, do you see fairy armor yet?
Hey, I'm trying to find it. It's
buried in there. See.
Oh gosh.
If you want, I can help you out. See here.
Yes, please.
The page that you are looking for,
is it?
You're looking for page 48.
Okay.
And then you just scroll a little bit, and then eventually pops up. Page 48 in the Umbra the Velvet Shadow for everyone listening at home.
Alrighty.
Also,
Okay,
really
found it.
like the artwork in this book
Fairy
too.
armor.
Yep. But
Arcadia Gateway.
as you're figuring out, you're finding it out, you're doing it, Shanny, you're doing it.
Do it.
This is the stalling section of the episode.
Yeah, fairy
Fascinating.
armor, fairy weapons are absolute busted. Because this I'll say this after Shanny reads their part, but yeah, there's if you go to the Change Team book, they have something called Arcadian bows. Arcadian bows does enough damage as a sniper rifle, and does double the damage of a longbow.
Yes. I think I skipped past the other page as well. I'm back in the material. I can't find it either, Shanny, actually.
I can find it if you want.
Agreed. Go ahead and do it.
Are you sure?
Yes,
I don't want to
please.
lose anything. Okay.
I'm just before the silly and unsilly paragraph.
Yeah.
It's talking about the different Arcadia Gate. It's in Arcadia Gateway, right?
Yeah, it is. Is there any difference between the two?
The silly and unsilly.
Yes.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, the silly are a bit more hospitable, whereas the unsilly seem nice. But we'll just mess with you for the sake of messing with you.
The silly make you smile. The unsilly scare you.
Oh yeah. We should actually bring this up here. There's a law section because each realm functions on a different set of laws.
Because every single changing kingdom has its own set of laws.
Yeah. For example, here it says fairies are not spirit. This is law 3. Gifts that affect spirits do not work on fairies.
Where how many different kingdoms does America split up in by itself?
Kingdoms of America?
Where would you like to take a guess, Kyle? How many different kingdoms exist in America?
7.
All right, let's look at that. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Kingdom of Willow.
Kyle, if you count the Caribbean as it, then yes, you're right.
Hey, all right. I was a shot in the dark, actually.
Okay. Now, fairy armor. It's a level 3 fetish with Geno 6.
Yes.
Fairy armor is lightweight armor designed by the fairies for their favorite knight. It will shift with the Garou and add 3 dice to the Garou soak. These dice add to their aggravated rolls, including silver.
Mm-hmm.
This armor does not hinder movement or dexterity. It does not wear or break.
Well, why don't you like some unbreakable silver proof armor?
Wait, hold on. That means when I go to my war form, this thing shifts with me.
Yes.
Oh, this armor is pretty sweet.
Yeah, you Hinshin and everything.
Yeah.
Wait, so would you still have to? It automatically shifts, so you wouldn't have to use the rite of talisman dedication on it.
That's right.
Yes.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
And also, and this is for normal actual World of Darkness, it adds with your silver soak rolls, which you normally can't do. It's pretty good armor.
And in comparison to what you said about the changing kingdoms, Kyle, you and Ryan, given what state you live in, you're both in the Kingdom of Apples.
I like apples.
I think I think the Carolinas are in the Kingdom of Willows.
Yes, the Kingdom of Willows, where Shanny, I think you live in the South as well. So
I do indeed.
All right.
I don't care what anyone says. Florida is the.
Shanny, actually in a different kingdom then.
Oh, Florida. Oh, that's a different kingdom.
Oranges.
Yeah, Shanny's in the Kingdom of Wet Sands.
Well, I
mean, given all the beaches, I guess that would be accurate.
Yeah.
Shanny, you live in a kingdom where everything is just beach 24/7.
It's called the King of
that. Beach.
And the only thing that's in the middle of the sand is the Everglades, the most treacherous place in the world in Arcadia.
Cool.
You want to talk to the snake puka because they're everywhere.
Snake puka and crocodile puka. Or alligator puka.
If you want to,
what would be alligators? Since alligators are more
Macaulay, actually.
Yes.
You have a version of Little Red Riding Hood where it's an alligator instead of a wolf.
Yeah, hold on. Imagine it's a puka alligator and the Macaulay end up beating each other the same river.
You're not had to hold on to get you alligator.
The final thing about the fairy thing is changeling armor is actually really busted. Typically, when you wear heavy armor in World of Darkness, it gives you dexterity penalties. But Changeling plate armor is just on -1, but you get 5 extra armor.
Yeah, changing to Dreaming, it's so busted mechanically speaking in terms of power scaling.
Yeah.
Where the one Achilles heel that the changelings have is banality, and that's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where,
All right, I'm done. I'm done. Next round.
There's well, the Kingdom of Willows, by the way, where me and Greed are, that is pirate country.
Yeah.
Where is there anything going on in Appalachia and say like Louisiana? No, not Louisiana, Arkansas. Yeah, there is, but that's New England stuff. Nobody cares about that. Going into Louisiana, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Virginia, pirates all day, every day.
Yar har.
And then the Kingdom of Apples. Carl, have you seen Brave?
I have not actually.
All right, so they're trying. The Kingdom of Apples really wants to be Ireland by another name. So,
Well, I'm right with that, aren't I?
So a bunch of stuff that the Fianna liked the most, took it, dropped it in the middle of Kingdom of Apples, and now we have a fake Ireland.
Well, in New York, there's a lot of people with Irish heritage.
Yes.
And in Boston, like a lot of the folks we talked to in Massachusetts and Boston were just Irish.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like the woman I got checked out at the store, she was like, "Are you with the army as well?" So I was wearing my Ireland jacket, so.
And there's other sections, but let's save that for another change episode. So we have more changing stuff to talk about. All right, number 4.
Wait, Johnny, all of this, was this in the Umbra book or another Changeling book?
The Changing Realms themselves, that's a changing book.
Oh, okay. I'll just look it up later. Continue.
And what's next? The Atrocity Realm.
Oh, this is about to be disgusting.
It's hell by another name. Where Kyle, you played Descent to Avernus.
Yes, I did. I literally spent most of that game playing an electric guitar on top of a war rig from Mad Max. That was awesome.
Where name any human tragedy or act of human cruelty, it happens here on a loop.
So it's I have no mouth and I must scream.
Yes, where Ryan, to really paint the picture for you, it's a land where think of the most revolting snuff shit you've ever seen in your life, and the spirits here reenact that forever.
Gross.
You could be a victim or a participant. You don't get to choose sometimes.
Now, how do you get here? You gotta go into a hellhole, where those are the little portals that the worm leaves behind the Umbra. It's not Malpheus, but it's how you get to Malpheus is through the Atrocity Realm.
Yeah.
And the best part of the Atrocity Realm, you can never step sideways out of it. Once you're in the Atrocity Realm, you're stuck there.
Oh, gosh.
Oh. Well, that's not good.
The only way to get out of the Atrocity Realm is to participate in one of the snuff films as the victim. So, and then you have to keep your fingers crossed that you respawn in the material plane. Because sometimes you just die here and then that's it, game over. The chronicle just ends in the Atrocity Realm.
Brutal.
But then everything else here. So, Kyle, all the stuff that you would post on LiveLeak or stuff that you used to be able to post on Reddit, and now you can't do it anymore because Reddit scrubbed itself clean. Where
all that.
Kyle, you never had the misfortune of seeing Funky Town get posted.
Yes, and I'm thankful that I didn't have to.
Well, it's one of those things that you see somebody on Reddit post it, and then you run across it, and then you say, "I really wish I didn't see that."
He should be wearing the "I really wish I weren't here right now" button.
The Mexican cartels just gotta make the most fucked up shit you can think of.
Oh, yes, the Mexican cartels. Summarize it here. Their form of gang dominance is how brutal you can get.
There was one video that got posted on Twitter and went viral after Elon Musk bought Twitter, the Zucateca flang. There was a man that had his fucking face flayed off after he had a shitload of anesthesia pumped into him, and then his fucking heart was ripped out and just held in front of the camera, and it beat it. It continued to beat for 2 minutes after it was pulled out of his chest.
Jesus Christ.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, and then before they did that video, they said, "Please send more people over our way so we can do this to them."
Goodness gracious.
They were encouraging other rival gang members to piss them off so they could kill them that same way.
Nice.
Good Lord.
Yep. You people wonder why all of South America is so fucked up. They got gangs like that down there.
Where you have a gang member that's his day job, that he just kills people like that and films it. That's just a job in the cartel.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't expecting anything less from the cartel.
No.
Yeah.
Along with, say, like the scenes where it's we have a horror game. It's like the most like gory deaths of that horror game, and you post them on YouTube. That's kind of stuff that's happening on the Atrocity Realm too. Where, along with that, Atrocity Realm, this is where new Banes are made.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Sense.
Yeah. Where specifically Banes that are categorized as being of the beast of war will find each other down here, make beautiful stuff together, and then it ends with them fucking each other and making a new Bane. Pleasant image, right?
Yeah.
So, and then that baby Bane goes off and finds somebody and makes him into a gorehound. Amazing.
Yeah, it's not great.
So, Kyle, when are we going to the Atrocity Realm?
We're not.
Because we can't talk about that on YouTube, can we? We can't really show the Atrocity Realm as it was meant to be.
No, we
And to
cannot.
clarify, yeah, if we want to truly express how bad the Atrocity Realm is, you can't bring that to YouTube.
It's the same reason why Games Workshop will never portray Slanesh in a game or in an animated series.
Yeah, to be fair and fair is, if you want to really bring up Slaneshes, you will be having demonettes with, let's be honest here, the dicks the size of their legs walking around.
Exactly. The perfect she-male. Yeah, it's terrifying. And next up, very similar to the Atrocity Realm, is Battleground, but a little bit more hopeful. Ryan, you love war reenactments, don't you?
Hold on. The Atrocity Realm actually does have a fetish.
Oh, do you want to talk about the memory ribbon?
Yeah. I'm going to bring up the fetish.
Let's bring up the memory ribbon.
The memory ribbon, level 4, Geno 7. Okay, so this is a pretty high level fetish.
It is.
Memory ribbons or simple bands of cloth worn about the race contain the essence of emissions from the Atrocity Realm. They serve as continual reminders for the Garou of the atrocities they fight for. A Garou wearing a memory ribbon may not be possessed and has the difficulty of all frenzy checks raised by 2. Huh.
Yes.
You can't be possessed?
You have snuff transmitted to your brain all day, every day.
That sounds
I
fun.
All right, I'm done.
Where, you know what that reminds me of? Greed, did you ever check out Kengan Ashura on Netflix?
I think so.
There's the sequel series Kengan Omega. If you remember Masaki, who's the judo guy that has his eyes constantly bleeding, as it turns out, he has a brother called Hayami, where he looks like a sweet, adorable boy until you begin to realize that he's got AirPods in, where he's playing the murder confessions of his brother on a loop in his ears, and he just listens to that all day, every day. So he looks like a sweetheart until you realize his smile is just a little bit too wide, and it's because he's slowly driving himself crazy because he's trying to be just as violent as his brother. That's what a memory ribbon will do to you.
Jesus.
So, going into it. Now we talk about Battleground. So this is where war reenactments happen all the time, but there's actually a point to it. It's showing, this is the glory and the human badassery and the amazing strategy that went into a war.
It is Elysium.
Where it's basically Valhalla is what this is.
Yes.
Yeah, also, bonus fact, you don't die here if you should fall in battle.
You just respawn.
Basically.
Yeah, Garou actually will come here to train for battle.
Yep.
Where, Kyle, do you want to go into D-Day on a loop?
That sounds awful.
Well, now we can go into... We just need to step sideways in Normandy and land up in the Battleground, and then we'll just continue to do D-Day until we get it and we get it right. And there we go. So, Would you like to do a Get Ephemeris route of passage where, behold, how you're going to become a Get Ephemeris? You have to go into the D-Day simulator and then get from point A to point B without dying.
Yep, basically.
God, that sounds awful.
You're on Omaha Beach. Good luck.
Yes. Try not to die, sucker.
Yep. Or hell, I bet the Silver Fangs do that, but it's Stalingrad.
What makes this funny is this is all the great battles about human history. I mean, the world's history. Meaning, not all these battles are human relevant. You could just run across a war with vampires and go like, "Where the fuck did this happen?"
Or a war between changing breeds that nobody ever heard about, or a shadow war between mages that got erased in Paradox.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of the Punic Wars, like how the heck would the Punic Wars look like?
The Punic Wars.
Yep.
You wish to simulate the Punic Wars?
Hannibal fighting the Romans.
Hannibal and Scipio. So
yeah. It brings up you could actually
wanted
go
to
here.
To what?
You can come here to actually find out how battles actually happened, and go like, "Oh, so that's what actually happened," because this is perfectly enough.
You become the what if alt history werewolf.
Yeah, no, basically, for example, here, there was a battle at, I don't know, something heel, and no one knows who truly who did the final blow. You come to the battleground, you say, "Ah, yes, the Get Ephemeris landed the final blow." Then you just come back.
See, I'm also thinking of an adventure hook for this, saying, "Kyle, pick a battle from World War II."
Oh, that's fucked up.
I would say Operation Market Garden.
All right. So you're in this, and then as you're training on it, you find a BSD who's on the enemy side. And he's doing the same route of passage and training program as you.
Oh, that motherfucker gonna die.
Yeah.
And he dies only to respawn in the same realm, and then you do the whole thing all over again.
Okay, now this is just ridiculous.
That sounds like a cool role-playing scheme. Just two werewolves fighting each other and killing each other again, and again.
See, we're thinking of that kind
Forever.
That kind of thing. Like, would you imagine that there's some sort of like rivalry, camaraderie happening between the two? Where like you fight each other so many times, it's almost like you've gotten used to seeing him.
Yeah,
Basically,
eventually it'd play out like that.
Yeah.
I feel
It's
like had there ever been a continuation of the comic of Sergeant Rage and his Killer Commandos, like I imagine that would be like one of the hallmark chapters. It's just like, you know, standing in the snow. This isn't Market Garden, but this is the Battle of the Bulge. But like standing in the snow of Bastogne, just like, you know, on the edge after an artillery bombardment, and standing over there in like a tattered Wehrmacht uniform and some black spiral, and you're standing over there in your what up?
Now I just realized something here. You gain a point of rage every turn.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Well, infinite turns.
And basically, you know, it's been like you've done this 15 different times, and it's been different every time, and you're just like, you're back, huh? Yup, still here. We're gonna do this? Well, we don't got anything better to do.
So you're just going to keep training, and you're going to keep doing it until you get it right and you don't mess it up.
Yeah, this realm sounds great and all, but not every Garou. The point is, there's a lot of pocket realms throughout the spirit realm that you can just run across random Garou in.
And with this too, Kyle, you love Dynasty Wars, don't you?
What wars?
Dynasty Warriors.
I only played it half asleep with you that one time.
Where, behold, you got every Dynasty Warriors happening at the same time.
Killed an enemy commander.
You're a better general than I have heard. How many times did we hear that when playing that game? And,
a lot.
Also, Kyle, every Call of Duty game, you're just in the level select of that.
Yeah, you're just in a COD lobby when you're in this realm.
Hold on, I just realized something here. Because all the stuff here is Infirmio, you could take, I don't know, a sword, a glaive, or the spiritual equivalent of a glaive, and just walk around across the Umbra with it. It will disappear as soon as you come into reality, but you'll just pick up a great glaive from here and just walk around with it.
You get to train with whatever type of weapon you want.
Yeah. Shit, man, this one was cool.
So, the Rock Chronicles kind of running itself, isn't it?
I mean, it is.
Yeah, but this is a very combat heavy. I mean, even more combat heavy for werewolf games.
Yeah.
See, for me, I honestly just want to write that story now of just like a Get Ephemeris set on his rite of passage to fight in the Battle of the Bulge at the same time that a Black Spiral is going through his rite of passage at the Battle of the Bulge. And they just do it again and again and again and again, like Groundhog Day. And they keep trading victories until one day they both like strike a fatal blow on each other. And they're just kind of laying there in the snow next to each other, bleeding out, talking about it.
Reminds me of a One Piece episode, like way back.
They're just sitting there going like, all right, I got 5 fatalities. No, Jerry, you got 2. No, the last one counts. The last one counts. No, it doesn't, Jerry.
It only counts as 1.
Yep.
See, and Ryan's having a memory of One Piece's past.
Yeah, it was the episode with the 2 giants where Nami got sick.
Oh yeah, with Brogy and
spent years battling it out with like chipped weapons and shit.
They're finally back in the comics, by the way.
Are they?
Yeah.
Jesus.
And number 6, the Cyber Realm. We're going to get in even deeper detail with this during the Virtual Adepts episode.
Oh yes, the wet dream of the fucking Glasswalkers.
Shanny, when was the last time you were in VR chat?
Never.
I don't want to.
Oh yeah, no, it was a couple of years ago during
during COVID.
No.
I don't want to go to the VR chat. If you looked at VR chat, you may come across some disturbing things.
That is true.
Trying to go into VR chat without encountering a furry challenge, a challenge impossible.
It is impossible.
My dude, if you try to go to VR right now,
this service is pretty okay.
I'd just rather not go to VR chat.
Let me give an example here. You will go to the VR chat version of the Cyber Realm. You will come across a fucking Rule 34 version of almost every character. You're like, all right, my day is ruined.
So just the internet itself, if you want to physically enter the internet, this is how you do it.
Oh, God.
Yeah, amazing, right?
That means I can use that in my Rage Across LA game.
You can just step in here, and you can touch the windows of your computer, and you can walk through web pages where imagine any sort of like cyberspace level. That's what you're in.
So you're playing digital highway from Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yes, or a Mad Matrix.
Yep.
I want it that way. Oh my.
Along with it, you get whole like 1-for-1 like digital versions of cities. Like
I got a map of what the digital realm looks like.
There it is. He's got the script link included with it too.
Yeah, I know.
We can't afford these fucking books, you know.
Yep, basically.
Yeah. That really zoom in on that tower.
Yep.
To break down the Cyber Realm, because the Cyber Realm is actually rather unique in this way. Do you mind, Johnny?
Go ahead.
The Cyber Realm is actually very capitalistic. I'm not joking. It's very capital. The more ephemeral, aka credits you have, the higher you're up in the tower. It may sound like a good idea, but if you try to sneak your way through, basically you'll get blocked by Weaver spirits that will throw you into metaphorical jail. This is capitalism at its peak.
Kyle, forget the last image just posted. I thought of a better example.
Well, I already put it up, so I put up the better one.
Let's see.
I forget exactly how to do this, but yeah.
This is somebody's fan art, but we know where this is from. It's loading. You played Deltarune, didn't you?
I did not. No.
The entirety of Chapter 2, you go into Cyber Realm basically for that, and you go inside. And this is where you meet Spamton, who's like a spam bot that just constantly like interrupts his own dialogue with hyperlinks. And he's always trying to scam you and take your money.
That sounds about right.
And the boss fight. Along with it, you have all these other pop-up windows where you encounter you fight the task manager made manifest, so to speak. And all this other stuff, as well.
It stops fucking responding. I hate when Task Manager stops responding. It became the very thing it swore to destroy.
Oh yes, there's a very funny thing if you really, for a certain person on this Discord that may like here, the Cyberwolves have a very deep connection with this realm.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody here likes that.
And as for what else is here, Shin, you got any ideas as to what's waiting for you in this place?
The cyber realm?
Yeah.
Sentient computers? I'm guessing.
Sentient computer viruses.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you
That
like to
tracks.
would you like to die a horrible death after Chojin gets his hands on you?
No.
Well, no, he won't kill you immediately. So basically, you'll run the program and then you'll get fucked.
Yeah,
All you really need,
you'll just slow down and start falling apart piece by piece.
basically, all you really need to do is just reinstall your operating system and you'll be fine.
Yes.
Back up any. What's up?
But how do you reinstall your own operating system as you're in the cyber realm?
I don't know. They probably sell other ones. You can probably buy like a Windows key or something.
You gotta find one of the geomeds and then buy the cure for the virus you've just been infected with.
Yep.
Actually, there's some actually rather interesting. There's some laws I want to bring up that's actually interesting.
I say bring up the laws.
Again, this is all first edition. I should clarify. These rules may change over the earlier editions.
Yes.
One, all Weaver spirits essence level, or in this version power level, is doubled, meaning the essence of every Weaver is doubled here.
Hmm.
And
well,
yeah, and if you go to the computer web, your mental stats, basically all your mental stats, are replaced by your physical stats. I mean, if you have poor mental, you have fucked here.
So it flips the stats around.
Yes, and on the micro level, you can change your appearance by rolling manipulation and computers.
But there we are. You get to decide your computer avatar.
Yeah.
All right. You meet somebody in the cyber realm, but they're drop dead sexy, and then they're just a disgusting menace in the real world.
If in now, anyone here want to handle the fetishes?
Just do one because there's a lot.
All right. Still for level 4.
Actually, let me do this one. I want to go over the freak box.
Okay, go right ahead.
All right, so Werewolf, the Apocalypse fetishes.
There's a few fetishes. I thought there was just one shit.
So Kyle, what is freaking supposed to be?
What?
Freaking,
I
yeah.
don't even want to know.
You're a computer science major and you don't know this?
Freaking? I don't think this is a legit comp sci term.
No,
are you freaking kidding me?
All right, so what that used to be is that you remember old phones where you had to go and talk through a wire?
Yes.
With a freak box, behold, I could be anyone from anywhere, and I can just call you without using any sort of caller ID.
Oh yeah, number spoofing. Okay.
Yes, that's kind of stuff.
Yeah. So freaking stopped being a thing after landline phones stopped being a thing. Now it's just number spoofing.
King, remind me what page this is on.
Page? It's on page 63.
65. Oh, 65? I was so fucking close.
All right, I'm looking at I'm looking at the wrong thing. You sent me to the cocoon.
What do you mean? This is on the book. Book watch is page 63.
I'm in the book right now. It's on a different page.
If you look at the corner of the book where the page is at, it says 63.
Yeah, it says it went to 65. Okay. No, this isn't it either.
Huh?
You're looking at this. Read the free box.
All right, I'll read it for you.
All right.
It's a level 4.
Level 4. Did he cut out?
Yeah, he did.
All right, fuck it. Skip the segment. We're not reading these.
Before we do,
Discord just vetoed King's segment.
No, bit canceled.
God damn it.
Oh, that sucks. But before we move on, I'm looking on page 59. A really cool picture of the cyber realm.
Yeah.
I see a picture that looks like it's Wally.
Give me a few seconds. I'll get it for you. Kyle, it's starting off my words. This is back when the actual artists were employed for this, not all this AI generated shit.
Bro, we AI generate most of our tokens.
I know, but what's in a product that I'm paying for?
Hey, what part did I cut out at?
The whole thing.
The whole thing. You literally you said the name of the fetish and then it cut out.
Yeah.
I'm pissed now.
All right.
Summarize, level 4, 6, Geno 6 allows you to open pathways and in and outways into gated clusters and allows you to change the environment on a micro level.
You've got to be looking at something else behind me because I go to page 65 and and it's Flux that I'm looking at.
Yeah, it says level 4, Geno 6.
So you're telling me that the copy of the book I have has no fetishes in it?
Mine does.
All right. Well, so it looks like you and Shanny are covering this bit.
All right, I'll say the last one because this one is cool. Lightning claws. It allows you to do. It gives your claws +2 lightning damage,
which is good. It's Razor Claws, but better.
Yeah, and you can also scramble technology by touching technology because lightning.
Now anyone can be a glass worker.
Yeah, apparently you can have this in human and helmet form, but it's very obvious a claw man.
Awesome. What was it? Just like your fingernails post point?
Yeah, I fingers like I think your fingernails look like the man of
Hey, bro, what's going on with your fingernail right now? It's sparking.
Don't worry about it. Also, hold on. Remember this thing? I don't know if you guys are my same age bracket, but when people used to go behind you and jab your sides and rub it.
Oh yeah, that was dumb.
Static.
I don't know about rubbing it, but they would fucking jab their whole entire hand.
People used to shout taser and jam you on the side.
Yeah, my sister used to do that. It sucked.
I don't know why I don't see the copy of any of these fetishes. Whatever. All right. Next round, Arabus.
Arabus.
All right. So hell again, but it's a good hell, so to speak.
So, yeah, I remember how the quote goes now. I get the quote now. Space is fake, heaven is a lie, hell is real. That's the go.
Shanny, what is waiting for you in Arabus?
What really caught my eye was this 3-headed black and silver wolf called Cerberus.
He's a good boy.
Yeah. And he's real.
It's the guard dog.
You know his name Cerberus translates the name Dot, right? Spot.
Yeah, Spot. Yeah.
And
No. Cerberus in Greek actually means spot.
That's funny.
Hades named his dog Spot.
And it kind of takes the win over sales.
It does, but at the same time, like Cerberus is a good boy, though. Like here, let me see if I can. Let's see.
Pull up the Disney Hercules version of him.
No, I'm gonna pull up the Hades version of him.
There. You gotta pull the one where he's scary as shit.
Both are good.
I just realized.
No,
you could actually make go to the Umbra and get a Cerberus spirit, and that could be your fetish.
Yeah.
Does that not work? Oh, fine. I was trying to put up the GIF of Zagreus petting Cerberus, but I guess not.
It's still a GIF. It's a GIF.
I can see it from my angle.
Yeah, but I can't put it up on the thing for people to see. It's not.
Hold on,
let
me just share my screen real quick.
I'll just find the GIF and put it in there.
Yeah. What the whole stand is to what's in Arabus, there is a certain hell in, I believe it's Buddhism and Taoism that is, it's a similar concept. Essentially, it's a hell where you're just drowned in a lake forever. Basically,
yeah, it's ruled by incarnate spirit.
Where what's waiting for you here, Kyle, is silver lakes and rivers made out of liquid silver.
That sounds like it sucks.
And they drown you in it, and you don't die.
That sounds even worse. It's just constant agony.
And why does this realm exist? Well, it's the punishment realm. If you have been a really shitty member of the Garou Nation, and death is just too good for you, they'll drop you off in one of these lakes. They'll cement your feet. They'll drop you down across form, and then they'll just keep you here for however long they feel like it.
Yeah, that sucks.
Where And this is every Black Spiral Dancer that they take alive as part of the litany, except an honorable surrender. If that BSD surrenders, this is where they're sent. And what this is supposed to do, what that silver water is supposed to do, is that it burns the worm taint out of you. So if you have worm taint in you, it lights a fire within your body that literally burns the impurification out of you while you're submerged in water, if that makes any sense to you at all. It's paradoxical. And eventually, you'll be distilled of all the wormish evil inside of you, but depending on how severe your punishment in, the Garou Nation might let you soak just a little bit longer for, say, 5 more years before they finally pull you out. And that's 5 more years Tellurian time. Time moves a little bit differently in Arabus, where you might be here for a long time and you just don't age. So, imagine how severe your punishment might be, and that's how you'll completely lose track of time and all the suffering.
Mm-hmm.
So, is this a fate worse than death to some?
Yes. I would say it is.
It is to me.
Kyle, are you going to send Insta the road it here?
That depends.
Hypothetically.
Behold, in order to get Wrath of the Storm into a story, you're just going to drop me off in one of these Silver Lakes.
Well, no. Look, for me, like if she keeps her goddamn mouth shut, and then and the Shadow Lords, and if you tell a convincing story to the Shadow Lords, like we had another pack leader, they were killed with doing battle with the worm, and everybody in the pack confirms this. I mean, they don't have any evidence to the contrary.
With what a hook-ass bitch Autumn Leafs is, I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, then your packmate's going to get you killed, and you have to take that up with him.
He's a snitch. That's all he is. He's a snitch.
Oh, these laws are bastards. Oh, this room was meant to make you suffer.
Read the suffering that waits for you in Arabus.
So you know how in normal Werewolf you can't regenerate silver wounds, right?
Yes.
This allows you to regenerate silver abrogated runes just like you'd heal everything else. So basically, instant regeneration. Also, meaning you can't drown in the silver waters.
You immediately regenerate the damage you take just to take it all over again.
Mm-hmm. Basically, it's absolute hell.
And every BSD in here, we just mentioned before, it burns the wormish essence out of you. Well, they do that with BSDs, but it just burns infinitely. They don't ever purify. You're just here forever. Because, Kyle, with the whole Dance in the Black Spiral, you're selling your soul to the worm and doing so. So you've got an eternal pit of darkness inside of you that just can't be destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have BSDs that quit being BSDs. You've already made the purchase. You can't take that back.
Yep. Your soul returns to Malpheus and then gets resurrected as somebody who exists to suffer.
Also, there's an HBIC that runs this place called Karis. Where, Kyle, what does she look like? She looks like a giant woman made out of silver fire.
Oh, that sounds pretty rough.
Imagine how fun it will feel when she touches you.
It would probably just sting really bad.
And she smells like mercury when you walk up to her. Very strong metallic smell.
Do not sample the frosting. It is made out of mercury. You will die.
And do other changing breeds also use Arabus? That's another question.
Actually, if you're hurt by silver, you would, but anything else, no.
Yeah, everybody except the Korax and Nuisha, who are not weak to silver, also use Arabus.
Yeah. They have one fetish, which is rather interesting.
See, a single fetish. Tell us about it.
They also have a talent, but I'll forget that for now.
Like, why the fuck is this not in my copy of the book?
I don't know, man.
Because your copy sucks.
I don't know.
But the fetish is called the Brood Spear. Oh yeah, there's another type of spirit that lives here. They look like Garou, but they're sexless.
Yes. It's the copies of like ideal wolves, like what you're supposed to strive to be.
Right. The Brood Spirit, level 4, Gen 06. These fearsome weapons are designed to be used by creatures slightly larger than a Krynos. They are silver tipped and give the user a bonus or a +1 to melee. They are difficulty 7 to use. They do your strength +4 damage. And if you roll 5 or more successes on a strike, the opponent also loses their next turn.
Yes.
I'm listening.
Oh no, the family.
I left it out for
No.
because I thought you were gonna get.
I'm going.
Mute.
I
Hit the
guess
mute.
I'm going
Hit
to
the mute.
interfere.
Hit the mute.
Aha! There.
I'm sorry. We had to mute Shanny. Have her message us when she's when
I
it's done.
won't count to 60 seconds.
It's
It's fair. I interrupt people too much with it. It's a fair thing. But basically, this weapon, if you activate it, it does 1+ more damage. So if you activate it, it does your strength +5 damage. And if you do 5 or more successes on an attack roll, they lose their next action.
Which is fun, right?
Yeah. It just basically, if you roll well, it's just a fucking it's just a circle of death.
Yes. Great. And then you had the other thing, right?
You want me to talk about the talent too?
All right. Well, we can skip the talent.
All right. I'm done.
Shanny, you are now unmuted.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm just gonna mute myself again just in case someone else comes in.
Kyle.
Yes.
Flux. Click the link if you dare and play it for 10 seconds to see what it's like.
Hold on, let me do it first.
Yeah,
I don't know if I want to. That looks terrifying.
I know that video.
Well, you don't like Thompson Tank Engine?
Well, no, I know that this is already going to be really, really bad. I don't want to click on that.
Yes.
I am not gonna click on that.
Thank you, Ryan.
This man's video. This man, like, the way he edits YouTube poops, he goes into just full-on abstract with it. So, I made this trick before in the server too, but so Flux, chaos. It's just chaos. Just stuff happens. It just happens.
It is the primordial ooze.
It is the realm of the wild, and everything is happening everywhere, all the time, all at once.
Yes.
Forever. And that's it. It's the realm of change. It's the realm of mutability. It's the realm of instability. Emphasis on the instability part.
If you couldn't tell, this realm is very associated with the wild.
Can you live in the realm of chaos? No.
You can. You just have to be very tough.
Will 20 different wild spirits hook themselves onto you all at once and horribly mutate you?
Oh yeah, these books also have little images to decorate the realm. It's a shame I can't show those. Well, you can, I just don't feel like copying and pasting those images.
Where, looking in here, there is a certain being in here called the Cocoon, isn't there?
Yes.
Shall I read over the Cocoon, and then you read over the Coil?
Indeed.
Sure.
Now, with a name like Cocoon, what do you think this thing is, Kyle?
What?
It's a being here called the Cocoon.
Yes.
The Flux realm is the domain of the wild and therefore accessible from any moon path. That's how you get in here. Spirits of the Weaver have spun a vast cocoon of patterned webs around the realm, making it more difficult to reach than it used to be. The cocoon is a vast three-dimensional labyrinth guarded by patterned spiders and other Weaver spirits. Its proximity to the Chaos Fury at the heart of the Flux realm causes this maze's exact form to change with every visit. Sometimes it's a classical Greek labyrinth, complete with minotaurs. Other times it's a vast jungle inhabited by panthers, leopards, and seemingly infinite museum guarded by elaborate security guards, or an ancient crypt defended by the undead. Jobbers must penetrate the cocoon in order to enter the Flux realm. This is essentially the Weaver saying that this is your last warning to turn around. Mm-hmm. You're not going to be able to handle what's waiting for you behind here. And then beyond that is the Coil. So,
I cannot find the Coil.
I'll read over it. The Coil wields almost absolute power over the realm, laughing as it creates terrible bubbles of perfect calm just to destroy them. Some theorists can speculate that the Coil has transcended its spirit nature to become a fragment of the wild itself, akin to one of the heads of the Triac worm. Visitors of the Flux realm seldom encounter the Coil, and those who do survive shudder when they look back on the experience. Essentially, this thing is just the wild troll who is just here to torment you and drive you crazy. Fun. He is there just to have your mind snap, and he thinks it's funny when he does it.
Yep. He's like, let's do this shit and keep doing it.
There. Let me just go ahead, run in, destroy your mind, and then run away laughing. Fun.
Yeah.
Kyle, when we're visiting Flux?
I have no plans to.
No.
I have plans to run a grand total of 3 World of Darkness games, and that's it.
Oh, come on.
What do you mean?
We'll have a fourth one set entirely in Flux.
Whoa. Oh, I get your joke. I get it. Funny.
God damn it.
But there's some interesting laws here. That's funny.
The laws of the Flux.
Law 2. There is uncontrolled transformation, meaning the DM can roll and say, it says to the red talent, you are now a Hamid.
That's a fate worse than death.
Yeah, you are in Hamid form.
Kill me now.
It's not that bad. I forget this rule 5. You cannot control or bind an entity in here
because it's too strong. The monster's too strong in this round.
Yeah, any form of domination, powers, mind control will just cease to work here.
Great, right? Well, behold, we're going to ask the wild for help. As it turns out, going directly to the wild was a bad idea.
Also, rule 4, I find this one funny, is you can just bring things into existence, but they only last equal to amount of turns equal to the successes. As you literally just you spend a point of Geno saying you literally just make something.
And only for it to fall apart in your hands?
It could be anything. You could literally just make the landscape nothing but water. It will reset back to what it was after a certain amount of turns.
Behold, I built a house in Flux only for it to turn into gingerbread, and the gingerbread pieces flew away. Amazing.
All right, this realm has no fetishes from what I can tell.
No. Next up, we got the legendary realm. So, you remember when I said that there were some afterlives in Umbra? This is one of them. So, Kyle, why do we put points into the ancestor background?
So you can talk.
Is that the...
Yep.
So, where are these ancestors?
Sorry.
They were here. The legendary realm.
I just want to say something. We're not even halfway done with the book, and this shit's already done with it.
Oh, yeah, because some of this stuff will be reserved for other episodes.
Yeah, but this book is dense.
Where the legendary realm, this is the grand retirement home where, until Apocalypse, of course, where one wolf in particular does so well that the celestial, that the Mab Psychosis cycle stops and says, no, you're perfect the way you are. We gotta take you and put you in this realm where you wait for Apocalypse to happen. And there you are. So, what tribe doesn't have a member sitting here?
Any tribe can go here, except for the Black Spirals.
Except the Silent Shredders.
Yep, because they can't talk to their ancestors.
Right, it's Curse of Set. That set banned you from an afterlife.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bitch.
Oh yeah, it turns out the Silverfangs can all know how to get here.
Exactly,
Because
they all know how to get here. This is where they go to breathe in their own farts. This is exactly it.
Yes.
Shanny, how many members of the Fenris are in here?
Yes.
Yes.
From what I see, there is one ruled by a courageous get of Fenris. So from what each tribe has its own kingdom, I think is what it's saying.
Where your own idealized version of what your tribe looks like, it exists here.
Yeah,
right.
No one knows where these are the actual werewolves from history, from legend, or not. But these are what they look like.
But the Black Furies is indeed the island of the Amazons as it used to be. Where, behold, there were no men. We killed all the men, and we just ran around, and we kicked each other's asses, and we loved each other, and it was awesome. And then with the Children of Gaia, it's the college, it's the university where everything is free and we all love each other. The ultimate liberal arts college, so to speak. And then with the Fianna, it is an endless tap hall. The Ephemeris, it's a mead hall. The Silverfangs is a big damn castle. You know, the works. Just where the tribe would like to collectively be upon their death. That's what it looks like.
Indeed.
So pretty self-explanatory, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I think we got the gist of the legendary realm. All right, and there's like they do have specific names too, because there's a few names like the Midnight Land, the Thimblewinter, the Hungry Dust, the Great Miasma, that kind of stuff. All right, let's go ahead. Let's go into realm number 10, Pangia. Now we mentioned this before, Kyle.
Yes, it is the OG world.
It is the copy of Gaia that the wild has sitting in the Umbra, so that when Gaia dies, he can just hit the reset button. He pulls out Pangia, puts her in Gaia's place, and the story starts all over again.
Yep. Time is a flat circle. Thank you, God.
Yes. The wild will just keep mashing the reset button until he gets his way.
I feel like that.
That what? He's gone.
King died again.
No.
Dude, King is having just the worst fucking luck today, man. Hang on. Let's tag him somewhere so we can actually. Jesus Christ.
Shanny, what's waiting for you in Pangia?
Let me check.
What dinosaurs, savannas, jungles, ancient terrain.
Woolly mammoths.
What the hell is in the background?
All right, I'm back. All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I can.
Sorry, that was my sister with her tablet.
Yes. Where you go over here, it's basically the world as the world intended it for it to be.
Oh, dinosaurs.
Yes. Would you like to play Werewolf the Savage Age?
Yeah.
I'm on board.
Well, here it is. This is where you play it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to fuck with dinosaurs.
Yeah. And you got
I'll fuck with
giant
dinosaurs.
Back when the Macaulay had their shit together.
I would play in an Arun Ragabash that would literally fuck with the dinosaurs.
There it is.
Throw pine cones at them. Steal their nests. Moves their nests somewhere else.
We get to make a dinosaur eggs omelet. I'm on board with that.
Fuck you, Macaulay. And this is back when dragons ruled the world, and the weird 10-eyed monster that shot lasers out of his eyes that the traditionalists want to bring back for some reason. Where I don't know, maybe that's Arcadia had a point when you look at Pangia. Because how is anything supposed to live here?
Well, carefully, very, very carefully.
But this is also land where nothing dies. Where you die in Pangia because this is so MF wild, you just respawn.
Yep.
Oh.
You immediately get killed and then just bing, back up.
So, Kyle, did you ever see the Genndy Tartakovsky series Primal?
I have not, no.
Okay, I would strongly recommend looking this up because that series is just that good with its non-verbal storytelling and animation.
Oh, Primal. Oh, that's the same guy who made Samurai Jack, so you know that shit is good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes. And that setting. It's just that setting, but nobody stays dead.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's some of the most like gory, unfiltered, just brutalistic action you can think of, and then you respawn a few years down the line. So, behold, just get as violent and nasty as you want.
Yep.
Man, the Pure Land is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the Elder Serpent?
See, the Elder Serpent. Do I want to talk about the Elder Serpent? All right. Let me go ahead. Oh, crap. I hit the wrong button.
I can talk about the Elder Serpent.
Okay, because I hit the wrong button, you read about it.
All right. The Elder Serpent is basically, okay, you know what a dragon is, right?
Yes.
The Elder Serpent, from how it's described, is supposed to be the most majestic version of a dragon that you can ever think of. It's so majestic, if a werewolf sees it, you have to roll frenzy not to not run away.
It's basically what Actena sees himself as.
Yes.
Yeah, you just see a giant, majestic fuck-off dragon so powerful that even Garou have to run not to run away.
Yeah.
Now, is this what the bounce worm used to look like?
I don't know.
Wouldn't surprise me.
To some, they believe he's of the worm, but he's in a realm that's purely wild and it's not changing him. So is he actually wild?
Yeah, this may be the worm or may not be the worm, but at the end of the day, he hates the Weaver. Apparently,
or is it the way that the wild remembers the worm?
Honestly, that makes sense.
As in, back when he was the balance worm, that's what he looked like and that's what he acted like.
Yeah, it says here he doesn't attack anyone unless you attack him first.
Yeah. See. Oh, and there's also savage werewolf tribes that exist entirely within Pangia that don't really go by a name and don't really communicate and just make like grunts and snarls and howls when you talk to them.
Actually, fun fact: there is no tribes here. There's only one tribe, and that is Garou.
Yeah, but they always break up into like the little subsections where I'm the alpha of this group, I'm the alpha of that group, and then this is my territory.
Of course. But there is no Black Fair. There is no Get Fenris. There's just one tribe. Also,
you also have a group there called the Desert Barbarians. They're like these big damn men that will come into the desert and beat you to death.
Damn.
Awesome.
Also, silver here doesn't exist here naturally, and if you do bring silver here, you can soak it.
Yay.
Hey, that's it for the laws. On my part.
Next up is the Scar. Basically a shithole. That's all this is.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Where you just go here. This is where the wild and no, not the wild. The Weaver and the Worm are really duking it out with each other. That this is the battleground between the two, and in doing so, it looks like shit, and that's it.
Yep.
Where nothing grows here, nothing thrives here. The Weaver builds war machines. The Worm sends its mutants out, and then they kill each other, and then there's just piles of bodies and pools of blood everywhere. And that's it. Fun.
Yeah, turns out this realm comes from the Industry Revolution. Hold on, what? I'm reading this here.
Yeah, it's members of the Industrial Revolution and how all the advancements and the travesty that was left behind by both. Yeah. Where, sure, we now have factories, and now the adults are living their best lives at the expense of the children who are now sweeping your chimneys, getting coal in their lungs, and dying of cancer before they know what it is.
Hold on, let me be a little bit depraved. What do you mean sweeping coals? I put this one in the dressing doll thing, and don't worry, this child won't ever have to work about coals ever again.
Exactly.
Just what happens behind closed doors.
The pure evils that would come around in the 19th century that would take off full steam in the 20th century. In fact, the evils of the 20th century are still being reenacted here. So is there a Holocaust going on in this realm? Yes.
Yes. Well, if you want to go to the Holocaust, just go to the realm of atrocities.
Where this is, say, like the industrial scale version, where if you want to see people die, you go to the atrocity realm. If you want to see them work forever, where, behold, carry this anvil from point A to point B. If you drop it once, we kill you. This happens here.
You're up on the mountain with Sisyphus.
Yes.
Damn.
So this is the land of pain, agony, and misery. And that's it, really.
Yeah.
Quite shit.
Great. And does this lead into Malpheus? Yes, but this is not Malpheus itself. Amazing. So, when are we going here, Kyle?
You keep asking me, when are we going to go here? I don't know. I really don't know. Like, if you were there, the story would end.
It would, wouldn't it?
Yes. That's part of the issue with all these realms. Cool as they are, it's hard to tell a story there when it's the same.
It's only a very short story. Well, do you want to go to the summer country instead?
Yeah, you could actually run a steampunk-esque adventure in this realm.
You could, with the Scar realm. The only fetish they have here is the web spinner. I think you know what it is based on that name.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a
Weaver
level 3
bullshit.
Yeah.
Let me finish. It's a level 3 fetish with Gen 4. The web spinner is a glove made out of woven spider silk. When activated, the web spinner allows a Garou to create a weaver web. That's
Behold. And that's it. You become Spider-Man the werewolf.
Yeah, the web you make through this fetish has the same strength level equal to your Genos. Meaning you could have a 8th strength web.
So for your Theurge build, your Theurge Lupus build, you can now become Spider-Man with them.
Actually, yes. You could actually tub all your points into Genos and have a 10 strength webbing.
As we know, Ryan loves Spider-Man. He loves Spider-Man.
He's great.
Yeah. And
Spider
Swings from a
Garou.
web.
Actually, and because this is born from the Weaver, you can actually connect this to the pattern web.
you can, yes. So if you want to steal the pattern speller's job with this, you can. Where imagine that being your job as a werewolf. You're just in the Umbra all day building buildings, and that's it.
That sucks.
Yeah, I kind of want to make that a character now.
That's your character for Edge Cross Los Angeles.
Yeah, that's the intro character.
It's just a construction worker.
Yes, but for spirits. All right. Now this one's fantastic. Or Shanny, it is the Summer Country. Does Gaia get a realm? Yes, and this is it. This is Gaia's ideal version of herself. If you want to know what the end game that Gaia wants to have happen to her be, this is that realm. Where it is an idealized version of herself and what she wants to be. Where there is peace here, and basically it is a permanent Neolithic age where the sun shines forever, the grass grows, the trees are green, the sky is blue, and everything is just perfect forever, and there is no human civilization. Just nature. I am just myself. I have no pollution. I have no scars. I am just myself, and nobody's touching me.
Yeah, I got an image.
Yeah, of the Summer Realm.
Yeah, that's an idea. I think that's supposed to be Gaia herself or a human, something. I don't know.
You forgot to crop it, but that works.
I'm too lazy.
Be a good album cover, that image right there.
You gotta zoom right in. That's like a very grungy album cover.
It really is.
All right. Allow me one moment of deviancy. Those are big ass titties.
God damn it.
As look around here, you have stuff here like the Well of Life, which cures abnormality. If you got a defect, if you got a derangement, if you got a horribly crippled limb that just won't heal, just go ahead and just jump in here. And a Birth of the Wounds and a Menace or no. Yep, if you're a Menace and you have some sort of physical deformity or mental derangement, just jump in here and it purifies you. Amazing. So,
yes, indeed. You have to get there, though.
Which makes me wonder, why isn't Yuri Konietzko just industrializing the birth of Menace and dunking him into this well and then sending him off into battle?
Because you have to get there.
You have to get into the Summer Country. And keep in mind, this isn't supposed to be like a jail free card with the Menace, because Gaia still wants you to interact with humanity, but humanity is to be your bitch and not your partner.
And two, you're not supposed to just sidestep the punishment of your parents fucking, which they weren't supposed to.
Right. You're supposed to integrate with human society and keep them subjugated. I mean, keep them docile.
So here's another image.
It works to a degree, but now there's, because of the War of Rays, not the War of Rays, the Impergium, we have Delirium.
Yeah, all different mistakes of your nation, you're so behind the benchmark, you're never going to catch up to it.
Everyone agrees the Impergium should have stayed.
Yeah, the Red Talons and Silverfangs agree. Approve of this episode.
Yeah. Also, I was able to get a map, and I posted it in notes.
See, you posted the map. Did you crop the image?
Yes.
You did. Okay. So there we go. There are just a giant. It's almost like Pangia, but Gaia designing herself.
Wait, it's supposed to be ancient humans?
Ancient? Yeah. This is Gaia designing herself.
Oh, so you can actually find humans here.
Yes. And Cloud Top High.
I have a question about that.
What?
Why did Gaia choose to have her lands arranged in a way that it looks like a cat playing with a ball?
Kind of does, doesn't it?
A little bit.
They're like an embryo, so to speak.
I guess so.
This
is turned into a Rorschach painting.
It has.
What do you see? Here's an interesting law. Again, this is from first edition. In order to be in the Summer Realm, you must have genuine love and respect for all creatures, including yourself.
So, children of Gaia.
Yeah, only the children of Gaia could actually live here. No other tribe could live here because you must respect everyone.
And
everything.
So there we go. Imagine just running free with Unicorn in this realm.
Yeah.
That's the dream right there.
Oh, we actually do make it to the wolf homes.
And along with that, you have the Garden of Delight here, which is basically Eden. Before Adam and Eve ruined everything.
Adam, I've eaten an apple.
See, oh, you ate an apple? Well, don't mind if I do too. And now we know the difference between good and evil.
Oh shit!
And everything was
You're
worse
saying
for
the
everybody.
Garden of Eden is here?
Yes. Yes. Where there was a very honestly, it was like a pretty rude answer that they gave where White Wolf was answering, is Lilith Gaia? Well, I think the reason why they think that is because the Garden of Eden is in the Summer Realm.
It makes sense.
And there's that lady with some big old bed. I gotta stop.
And Lilith is in the Garden of Eden today.
Just
What?
chilling without that
Yeah.
fraud Adam.
Along with all of her chosen few, and including Ilyes, the Bruja and Oblivion.
No, how about that?
We don't talk about. We leave Lilith alone.
Yeah, well, and the Ilyes has this surrogate mother relationship with Lilith as a surrogate mother.
That's kind of weird. I'm surprised that Anoia isn't here.
I know that is on Gaia. I mean, the actual.
Anoia is enjoying her best life as a saber-toothed tiger somewhere in Siberia.
She's having a great time.
Anoia is the crust of Gaia.
Yeah, because she's fused with it after a giant ritual, and now the ground can just eat you alive.
It's not even joking. You could insult Anoia, and a crevice made of nothing but teeth will open up below you.
Like the only person that can fight Anoia in the Crucible of God scenario is Zimichi, and that's it.
Yeah, because they're both trying to control the planet.
Where that's your whole final battle, where Losaber just vanishes after blotting out the sun for 7 days, and it's just left to Anoia and Zimichi to hash it out. Amazing. And what happens after you leave this realm? Well, it's very easy for you to go into Hirano after leaving the Summer Realm, because it's just so incredible and it's the Garou wet dream. How are you supposed to go back to living normal life after seeing something this beautiful?
So beautiful.
That's it. It's you have such a good time here, you don't want to leave. But you know there's still a fight that you have to fight, where isn't the point of the war against the worm that we can make a place like the Summer Realm every realm and not just one realm? You know?
Yeah, I'm sorry for bringing this up. Yeah, brick reality is basically just actual ultra reality. Shit.
And there are no specific fetishes in this place. So now Realm 13, Wolfhome, which is the spiritual homeland of every individual tribe. Amazing. So you know, like the legendary realm, where that's the afterlife for every tribe. This is now the recreation, the recreated starting point of every tribe, so to speak.
Yeah.
Including the other breeds like the Korax and Ananasi.
Yeah, the Black Sparrows have one, but no one goes to theirs.
So, you go over here, and it's up into it almost looks like the near Umbra, so to speak, because you got towns inside the inside this realm. Because after all, where did the Bonars and the Glassworkers get their start? Exactly right.
Yeah.
So you go over here. There's also a section in this realm called the Zoo, where it's just an entire jail, where your punishment for being a bad changing breed is that you're put in a cage and spirits of humans laugh at you. And that's it.
That's just sad.
To enter your homeland, you have to be a rank 3 or get the permission of a rank 3.
Right.
Because you don't get to go here. You don't get to view what your tribe embodies being a rank 1 little shit.
And then you go in here and say, "This is the ancient history of our land," and you get to, as a guest famous, you get to go and you get to meet the recreated 3D printed Fenrir. He's not the actual Fenrir, but feel the glory.
And the Game of Fenrir's land is very fun. You go outside; it's nothing but cold. You also fight winter wolves every single day.
You get to fight a giant man made out of ice, and it's awesome.
You get to fight Jotun. It's very violent.
As for the Black Furies, it is the island of the Amazons, filled with lush, fruit-laden trees. The grass is green, everything is pretty, and there's no men.
Why does that mountain look like a vagina?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Also, Also, there's giant monsters that want to eat you. And the Black
Oh
Fairies will go
my.
in and kick their asses and kill them and eat them instead. Amazing, right?
Yes.
And
Sounds great.
let's see. For the Bonars, it is a city that is made up entirely of shitty, rundown Section 8 homes. And that's it. It's just a slum.
I
But
wouldn't go
everybody-
that far. It looks beautiful.
Are we talking about the tribal homelands now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You go here, it's just in the Section 8 housing filled with weeds, and it's you got overgrown trees, you got ivy climbing up the walls of the buildings, shrubs and flowers growing in places where they're not supposed to, but everyone's happy. Everyone here is poor, and they all realize that they're in the same boat. Fun, right? Where Kyle, what's for dinner? We'll open the dumpster, and then trash will just spew itself out of the dumpster onto the floor for you to eat.
Thank you, Great Trash Heap.
Amazing. It's all high fat, high sugar bullshit that's terrible for your body. But it keeps you alive for another day, doesn't it?
And there's fast food joints and pitchers of beer. And strip clubs. And but the best ones are
Every day is $2 Tuesday and Seafood Sunday.
None of the bitches have any diseases.
And everyone is addicted to crack.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay.
Amazing.
I wouldn't go that far. This is still supposed to be a paradise realm. No drug abuse here.
The Children of Gaia. It is almost one for one like the Summer Realm. Basically, it's one for one copy of the Summer Realm, but smaller, significantly smaller.
And hold on, Johnny. I have to think about how the humans are treated here.
Right.
They're human.
Yes.
Yeah. They're human, delirium-free humans that are super grateful for Children of Gaia, and they straight up use them for their own experiments that they want to try on Earth, and they're willing to try these same experiments on humans from the other realms, but no one has had any offers.
Yes. But hold on, how slowly can we change the classroom before you freak out? We got answers. We have questions we need answers for.
One way to find out.
I agree. I need answers now.
Let's see. Fianna Rome, it's Ireland before the Weaver came over. And
that was beautiful.
And that's basically it. That's all there really is to the Fianna's realm.
And the Wild Hunt is happening.
Exactly.
And the Fae are here. But the Fae are here.
And the girl are here too, and you get along, and you don't hate each other. Amazing, right? And get Fenris. Well, we were joking before, but that basically is what it is. It's
just cold, super cold forests.
It's cold. It's filled with giants. It's filled with all these horrible, nasty creatures, and you kill them, and it's awesome.
Yeah, to be fair, the creatures never kill you. They just beat you to your bloody.
There it is. They exist for you to kill. They're all jobbers, but they put up a hell of a fight, though.
Yeah, like hold on. Imagine this: Gary comes out of his den. All right, time for 9 to 5. I gotta get knockouts today.
Yeah. Is that Shanny? What were you saying?
No, I was saying they're also packs of dire wolves that will eat anything they can get their claws.
Yeah.
So,
you come to this realm and you die, and that's it, really.
Sign me up.
See, the Glass Workers. It is basically what they imagine the world will look like when they take over. Where it's going to be a perfect city where we control everything, and you're poor, and we're in the penthouse, and then you're in the slum, and it's awesome. Great. And also, almost directly leads into a cyber realm as well. You just want to go ahead and jump. You want to jump into a cyber realm? Just go into this computer.
And it's connected to the Bonar realm as well.
Oh yeah,
via a subway system.
Yeah, you take a train to the realm.
I mean, I don't find that too far-fetched.
No, it ain't really. The Red Talons. I want to kill. I want to kill. I want blood in my eyes. I want gore in my teeth. I want to see burnt dead bodies. I want to kill, and that's the Red Talons realm.
It's just a nightmare by sensibilities.
Yeah,
And you can't come in unless you have a Red Talon chaperone or an ally of Griffin.
To clarify, you have to be a member of these tribes to get into these areas, or have a member of the tribes with you.
And it's great. They have they have like the Minecraft spawner where they say, "Hey, you want to hunt a human?" They just go up to a spawner, press the button, and then a human spirit spawns, and then they kill it.
Ah,
amazing.
Kind of work,
yeah. Next up, the Shadow Lords. Kyle, just think of like a super villain lair. That's what it looks like.
It's medieval supervillain layers all across the land.
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom.
It's a giant mountain where it's constantly storming. There's lightning off in the horizon. And there's this giant evil-looking castle at the top of it.
Yes, so all the Shadow Lords here, we're going to get the laser that we tested on all those Bonars we kidnapped in Moldova, right?
Wait, hold on, I got a better way to explain. You ever seen a Game of Thrones?
Yes.
No.
It's like that with the same level of intrigue, but dark and stormy.
Yes.
Kyle, I was just going to say you sounded like Dr. Evil.
That was the idea.
Oh, okay. I'm glad I picked up on that.
I want $1 billion $1,000,000,000.
You have Grandfather Thunder cloning smaller versions of himself, and he shows them off to the Shadow Lords.
Yeah, hold on. A random Shadow Lord walks outside, a lightning bolt strikes them, now they're pregnant.
Wrath of the Storm, we don't eat our kitty.
Well, you talk to a Jagling of Grandfather Thunder, and it's just the mini-me Grandfather Thunder.
And it would be really funny. Clowning on the Shadow Lords. It's just so much fun.
So basically, like the premise of like a James Bond movie. That's the Shadow Lords realm.
Yes.
Cartoonishly evil.
Yeah. But they're definitely the good guys, right? It's not like when Times of Judgment Apocalypse happens, they don't change their name when they fall to the worm. You know, you're telling me the bad people were always bad people? Amazing.
Yeah, sounds about right.
The Surfang's homeland, it's this giant icy castle where instead of there being dark, stormy skies, it's always sunny in Surfang land, and the snow reflects the sunlight, and the castle's big and beautiful, grand, and you get to go in, you get to meet every single Surfang family except for the ones that made horrible mistakes. We just sweep those under the rug. They never existed. And Falcon and his Gafflings are here, and he's saying, "So you want to be a hero, kid? Well, I'm going to show you how to be a hero if you follow these easy steps." And it's great. It's the perfect propaganda machine for you to be sent off to your death to. Amazing.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, great it is. You sit on a throne of lies, is what you do.
Yes.
The Stargazers. Basically what Asia looked like back when Clyto was alive. In the Himalayas, of course.
Yes.
The Himalayas.
And just look up a picture of Mount Everest. There you go. There's your homeland. Okay, next tribe. All right. The Actina.
Let's go there to meditate. You're just there. It looks pretty, and you go there to meditate.
You go there to get Misty Mountain High.
Hell yeah.
See, with the Actina. It's a trick question, isn't it? Because didn't you guys used to be Wendigo? Until you split off and went to South America?
Yeah, kinda.
You try to shush me as up. As you go down here, actually it's multiple homelands. It's homelands plural for the Actina. Kyle and Ryan, it is the Mayan and Aztec Empire, sure, but it's also the Mongolian steppe, the Polynesian islands, the kingdoms of Africa, the Zulu Empire, Ethiopia, all that stuff.
The Zulu Empire failed.
Who's the African guy that had all the gold, like Mansa Musa?
Mansa Musa.
Yeah, he was supposed to have so much gold he gave it out.
Yeah, you go over to Actina land and you have an entire castle made out of gold you can go into.
I love
gold! You can do that in the Silverfang land.
They also have a Japanese mountain where you can find Susanoo and have a sword fight with him as a hurricane rages around you.
No, wrong people.
No, there is a Japanese homeland in with the Actina.
That bastard.
Really?
I thought that was with the Shadow Lord.
Well, the Actina got there first.
Sure.
The Asia has their own shit. Like, really? Huh. Okay.
So it's basically everywhere is the Actina homeland.
Yeah.
Anywhere else that's not claimed by the Garou Nation, really.
And then with the Wendigo, behold, it's frozen, icy, nothing.
It's just super cold again.
It's
And
just,
everyone's banned, including other guards, except for
they say get the fuck out of my tundra. This is my tundra where nothing ever happens.
Yeah.
It's quiet and boring, and that's the way we like it.
Yeah. Let me brood.
And we will build the giant ice castle in Nunavut. And when that castle is built, we will show ourselves off forever and wait for you to die while we survive the apocalypse without you. There is one changing breed that is allowed inside of the Wendigo homeland. It's the Garou.
Dun, dun,
Yeah, I
dun.
just said that. I
'Cause-
just said it was the girl.
yeah,
Because they feel like they're indebted to them.
Oh, the Ice Walkers.
and
Sure,
there
that makes
and
sense.
the Koraks are allowed in here for a short time only. And when the Camazotz were alive, they would come in here and then immediately leave. Because, how many bats can go around cold environments?
Very true.
But
apparently the Korax... Sorry. Apparently the Korax did something to piss the Wendigo off, and now they're banned from their land. But the Korax deny this.
Is that they made a pact with the sun god before they could?
Sure.
And then with the Lost Homelands and the Black Spell Dancers, the Loch Ness and all of Scotland, except it's hot, it's oppressive, it's filled with blood and gore, smoke ripples off of everything, everything's on fire, and the fire is green, and it smells like polluted ozone.
That sucks.
Great. It's Scotland today, basically.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Filled with so much duckweed that is killing the local water.
It's
so hostile that they can only survive on.
But I'm being real here. I forget exactly where, but it's somewhere in England or Ireland. But there's so much. I forget the thing is duckweed or moss that is literally that no light can get through them. It's so dense, so it's killing everything that's below it.
Well, I'm typing in England duckweed as I speak.
It could have been called something else.
See, well, it's not just one area anymore. It's basically all of England now.
Oh damn! For example, here, if you go to the south of America, you see all those vines that go across the trees. That's not supposed to be there.
Oh, the kudzu down here.
Yeah, the kudzu. It's actually so much that it's strangling trees.
No, the trees are just dropping dead in the forest now because of that.
Yeah. When we say strangling, it's blocking so dense that the tree can't get any light.
Yes, and then the tree just dies standing up.
Oh.
And now we talk about the umbral homelands that are no longer accessible. The Bunyip, where basically the Dreamtime, as we discussed in Rage Cross Australia, where Kyle, what's there to do in Australia? Nothing.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, there it is. I sure hope you like the Outback, because that's all there is to the Bunyip. Amazing. And you will forever be the most underdeveloped tribe in all of Werewolf the Apocalypse. And what's next? The Croatan. So you like the South? You like living in the southern parts of America?
I can hear the banjos already.
All right. Well, it's that, just without the roads or the buildings.
Yep. It's just, a whole lot of trees and a whole lot of humidity.
And
it's
Turtle,
pretty, but no one's there.
So and if you want to talk to Turtle, Turtle's here. He's in that homeland, but he's closed the door to the homeland. You can't actually get inside the homeland.
But you can still talk to World Turtle because he's just a cool, chill dude, right?
Yeah. He is depressed, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, his tribe is dead, so...
He's waiting for the progenitors to revive the Croatan, but it's not going to be the same.
No.
And the Sun Striders, well, once again, we did an episode of Rituals Egypt. Basically, like the 1001 Arabian Nights version of Egypt. Like what you'd mention, like the Disneyfication version of Egypt looks like, where you got your flying carpets, you got your pyramids, you got your sand that goes on forever, and you can no longer access it because it's set.
Yeah, the dumb motherfucker fucked it up for everybody.
Great.
Because he was being petty and a sore.
It sounds like my type of god.
You're a type of antediluvian, right?
There we go. Yeah.
Behold, I was abused by Ra my entire life. Let me go off and be the abuser to everyone else now.
Just being petty is great.
And then the changing breeds also have their own homelands too. To shotgun through these, the Koraks have a giant tree. You want to live inside of a giant tree? You want to live inside the Yggdrasil? Well, this is where you go. It's just a big damn tree that goes on forever. Amazing. It does not tell you what kind of tree it is, though. It's every tree. The Noesha have no homeland. Great. All right, next segment.
It's an oval room with doors. That's it. It says it's a tunnel, but it's more of an oval.
And then, if Greed sees anything in his book, let me know, because that is where my section ends. And there we are. And now we're going to talk about some of the other stuff. We have a few more categories to go over with the Umbra, but they're very short. So, you might be thinking,
Let's do it.
We spent that much time on Chapter 2. What's there in Chapter 3? The Dark Umbra.
All scary shit.
Yes, the spirits of fear, the spirits of death, the spirit of suffering. But it's populated by ghosts, specters, worms. It is parallel to the Shadowlands when you go down here.
That sounds about right.
And yes, this is where Malpheus is. Where, Ryan, you remember the lower planes in D&D, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember Hades?
Yeah.
Where it's an endless plane where it's just gray sands and everybody's depressed and in despair and the sun never shines. It's just darkness everywhere.
Yeah.
It looks like that.
Nice.
And occasionally stuff will pop out of the sand to kill you.
That sounds great.
Still okay. Yeah, still surviving. Well, they did it in Dune.
Where you just go down here. This is just the realm where life just ends when you go here. It just ends. If you want to TPK your party, you go here.
And, all the spirits of the black spirals that you've killed are there waiting to get respawned.
Are you talking about Malpheus?
No,
Yes.
the Dark Umbra.
Oh.
Oh, I thought you were
The
talking
Dark
about
Umbra isn't
Malpheus.
evil, per se.
Well, it's not necessarily evil, but it's filled with stuff that's waiting to kill you.
To clarify, the Dark Umbra is the Umbra of the dead. Of death.
Yes.
It's the dead realms.
Yes.
So, Kyle, when are we going here?
Again.
And if you want to go to the want to go to the abyss, just go straight through the Dark Umbra and keep going down.
Kyle, I feel like derailing the plot of Ridge should come down here and make a death scythe out of a death spirit.
I don't recommend that.
Good luck.
Yes. And now nobody will fuck with my character.
Nobody already can.
I'm sorry about this here, but if you guys actually go back to the image, the second image of the image of the Umbra, you look at the corner of the map, the lower corner, it leads to darkness. That's the abyss.
Oblivion.
And then beyond that is Oblivion, which is just raw destructive power that erases you from existence.
Yeah, for example, here it literally says the underworld. The red cloud says the underworld before it goes boink.
This is also where the Tempest is in Wraith the Oblivion.
Well, the Tempest is everywhere. Well, yes, the Tempest is. Yeah.
And it rose out of its dark pocket and flew all the way across the horizon to Great Threat Null.
Well, to clarify what the Tempest is basically so in the afterlife, in the Umbra, there's also the Dark Umbra, it's also the shadow of everything. But when you have the anger and the angst of something that refuses to die, that's what the Tempest is. It is the death screams of the universe. It is a death screams of everything that have died. That's what the Tempest is.
just the despair of the loss of your own life formed a tempest.
It's the death knell of the universe.
Where you, in terms of Wraith the Oblivion, you are a drop in a bucket, but you still contributed to the storm.
There's a reason why specters aren't hurt by the tempest. It is the screaming oblivion as the world screams. It is the crying child as it drowns.
And as a specter, you are a force of death here to kill the people.
Yeah, I did. Damn, that was dark. What I just said. It is the screaming. It is the screams of a drowning child.
You now understand why very few people want to play Wraith the Oblivion.
It's very depressing.
It's brutal.
Where I love Wraith, but nobody else does.
I love Wraith too. It's just like everybody will tell you this when you actually understand Wraith. It's a great game, but you should know what you're doing with it.
Yeah, only 2 people play it. It's me and Greed.
Yeah, you should know what you're doing
for it.
Yeah.
Because Wraith can get many people say this here. Well, not many people, but Wraith can get very emotionally heavy and a little too real.
And Shane, if you can make a Wraith date, I'll be absolutely overjoyed about it. And
I have to read more about it.
And also, what else is there in the Dark Umbra? How about a Rage Spirit?
A Rage Spirit?
Rage.
Rage Spirit.
I know what you said. I know what you said. I know what you said.
Ryan, do you want to have a spirit just run up to you, touch you, and then automatically put you at 10 points of rage in your frenzy?
Yes.
Well, that's waiting for you in the Dark Umbra.
Let's do it. Grim would love it there.
Well, you just get pissed off, and then you have like the horrible come down after all those chemicals leave your brain at once. Amazing, right?
You have to roll willpower to not sink into Urano.
I would probably feel like that.
Yeah, it's a little rougher.
Next up is the Astro Umbra. Now, Kyle and Ryan, this is where we get weird with this explanation. Because this is abstract thought made manifest as a realm. So, Shanny, pick a word. Pick a word, Shanny.
Acorn.
All right. Now, fixate on the word acorn and all the images and words that you associate with acorn. Now turn that into a setting.
So a giant oak tree
that loops in on itself and forms a Mobius strip out of itself. And all the acorns are made of other acorns that all scatter and drop off each other.
Ah, shit! I just realized something.
What?
Yes.
Who was high when they wrote that?
Yeah.
Or, alternately, I have a random word generator. I'm generating a word as we speak. Ryan, generate a world based around the word perception.
Oh, well, to be fair, hold on. This is the one time I will say AI generation actually fits because the Umbra is just that fucking weird.
Yes.
The movie Inception.
The movie Inception, just everything in that movie is just a perception realm.
Yeah. But I do want to say something here. One of the most important things in the Umbra is the world tree. That is a real thing.
Yes, this is the high branches of the world tree.
Yeah, I wondered, is the world tree mentioned at all?
In this book, yes, but I'll get to it at the very end.
Okay. Ratatasca.
Yeah. Because if I were to make a perception realm, I'll just make it like in this world where it's just skin, and everything is just ears, eyes, noses, tongues, and fingers. As you go into perception realm. We're just what you think of and what you associate with a word and concept makes the world. Now, is this starting to fly over your head?
No, that makes sense. You think, therefore it is.
But everyone is perceiving the same world in different ways. Because, let me do the whole word association test with you, Ryan. I say the word agriculture. What comes to your mind?
Wheat.
Kyle, agriculture.
Wheat.
Shanny, agriculture.
Just multiple fields with any kind of produce you can imagine.
All right. So with that, you're all perceiving. The two of you are perceiving this wheat field differently, and Shanny's seen a different field entirely. So, if this is beginning to sound strange, this is what I mean by saying the Astro Umbra is going to take a minute to understand. Where you're in the same, it almost feels like you can't really explain it. You just need to roleplay it out in your game, because it's a place where you're seeing the same thing in different ways. If that makes any sense at all. As what I just said.
I got a better way. If you want to tell someone not even seeing a single, to summarize the Umbra as just one single word, say drug trip and a dream.
Or it's like a Rorschach blot test, as we were saying before, where that picture of the Sunset Realm, we're all seeing different images in the Sunset Realm.
Yep.
Yeah, hold on. No, I got a better one here. If you want to know what the Umbra is in just 2 words? No, I think it's 3 words. Weed-induced dreaming.
It's the LSD dream simulator.
That is the Umbra.
Where have I mentioned Promethea on this channel before?
I don't think so.
Where it's a comic that's made by Alan Moore, the same guy that made Watchmen. He's the same guy.
Oh.
And he made a book where he was trying to do he was making a comic book based around Hermetic understanding. And it is a very weird comic book when you read it. Where Kyle, just to show you an example of the paneling of it. Here's how it's written.
Jesus, that looks rough.
What? Yeah, it's creepy.
Along with that, like other like Hermetic and like philosophical diagrams are also part of the panels themselves. Where, the entire panels in here are set up like Kabbalah trees and Mobius strips. And there's one scene in this that stood out to me, and it's when Promethea and her party fight the demon Asmodeus again. And they're going into it aggressive, ready to kill this thing. But then Promethea begins to realize that she can't win the fight, and instead tries to have a dialogue with Asmodeus. And Asmodeus goes from being this spider demon to being just a normal man. And while they're having a conversation, Asmodeus says something along the lines of, "See me as a monster, and I will appear monstrous and hostile. See me as a person, and I'll appear as a person and humane." Where how you choose to perceive the realm as well will decide what that realm of the Astro Umbra will be. To the point where your mood and what you're thinking about the realm will modify and change the realm around you as you're perceiving it.
Yeah, of course. The Umbra is very shapy, but there are certain limits. I mean, there's only so much how much you could perceive the Malpheus that what it is the Malpheus. The Malpheus is a hellhole.
Yeah, but everyone is experiencing their own different version of Malpheus as they're looking at too.
Yeah. Certain realms are based on a concept that ain't changing, based no matter how you try to perceive it. But
where I keep using like analogies for stuff, but this is like the best way I can really explain this. So, Kyle, Silent Hill 2, where you remember one of the bombshells in that is that everybody was perceiving the town differently.
Yeah, makes sense.
Where the implication was, with James's Dark Realm, everything was water damaged, everything had mold growing on it, everything was wet, soaking wet in this realm. But meanwhile, Angela's realm, what you were able to see of it, everything was glowing red and orange. Stuff was on fire. There was like gouges of heat coming out of the walls when we entered her realm. Stuff looked like there was flesh printed on the wall. And then when we entered Eddie's Dark Realms, everything was cold and filled with fog. That's what's going on with Malpheus. Where what makes you afraid and what makes you on edge is what you see in Malpheus.
Vigo actually wants to go there.
Yes. Where he's got no idea what he's talking about when he says that.
No, he does not.
So, that's enough on the Astro realm. Lastly, the Deep Umbra, where we are now going into a place where we're going into a realm of nonlinear time, where, well, actually, we've already talked about this before, Kyle. Ridge Cross Heaven. So, if you want to know about the Deep Umbra, now's the time where we plug our Ridge Cross to Heavens video. And there we go.
I watched that video.
Yeah. And now, lastly, we may bring up the Yggdrasil, which may or may not be the core and heart of Gaia.
Yeah, what page is that on?
What page is it on? Well, I can just talk about just going off the cuff right now.
Okay.
Because I don't think it is in this book, actually.
Ah, shit.
But to go about World of the Apocalypse, what is holding all this together, Kyle? How about a single tree that's in the middle of the Umbra, where the branches it starts in Gaia, spans all the way down to Malpheus, and then reaches as high as the astral planes into Flux.
Yeah. To clarify, the Yggdrasil isn't like, oh, the Umbra itself. No, Yggdrasil is the representative of life for Gaia. If it goes, so does all life.
Remember when we did the Surfings episode, the Beast of War immediately tried to destroy the Yggdrasil and failed miserably.
Yeah. And to be fair, it wasn't like he failed. It wasn't like he didn't try. It was This is the reason why the Garou are so favored across all the shape changers, is because the Garou, the first werewolf, first wolf, led all the other shape beasts into defending Gaia.
The wolf landed the blow that forced the Beast of War to retreat.
Yeah. It wasn't just the wolves. Everyone was jumping him.
And just like the Legend of the Yggdrasil, you can run up the tree and end up in the ethereal realm. You can run down the tree. You can end up in Atrocity. It's basically the bridge that connects everything to each other.
I do not recommend trying to steal from a Yggdrasil. You will get bodied. There are things I guard that.
Yes.
I wouldn't recommend trying to steal anything from the
from any of these realms.
No.
Oh,
but there's someone who's dumb enough to try.
Well, to be fair, you can steal for 50% of these realms. Just the other 50% is it's actively guarded by things that will body you.
AKA Gaia's strongest spirits and some of the spirits of the wild, making sure that the worm doesn't mess with it.
Yeah, ask for permission, there's certain realms you can steal from here, like the cyber realm. You can steal from that realm. From Yggdrasil, I don't recommend it.
And is the worm trying to destroy this place? Yes. But Beast of War got his ass beaten so badly the first time that it broke his mind, and now he's just roaming around the near Umbra and Gaia and the Dark Umbra, causing destruction where he can before he runs off to the next spot. He's basically a carrot. Yeah, it's a carrot on a stick with the Beast of War, where he's just running off to where violence is happening. He festers there and then runs off to the next spot.
Yeah, to summarize it, it's not like when we say the Beast of War, there's still attacks on Yggdrasil. It's just none of them are as big as the Beast of War himself.
Where it's spawned coming from the Beast of War, but not the Beast himself.
There's been no big wars. Because
by this point, the Beast of War's mind has been broken to the point where he causes damage, but he's no longer a global threat. Where if the track worm worked with each other, then we'd have an issue. But
it's a good thing they can't work together.
But Defiler doesn't want the end of the world, does she? Because
no, the Defiler, if you looked on the internet long enough, is definitely doing their work very well.
Because the Defiler only has something if someone else is making something. She perverts what already exists. She makes the beautiful ugly. She subverts. She corrupts. That's what it is. And she's smart enough to know that if the world is destroyed, she dies with it and she loses her purpose.
Yeah, the Defiler, looking at your clave, your fetish sword with your ancestral spirit inside of it, I will fuck your sword.
So, if the Beast of War was to enter Yggdrasil and destroy it, then the Defiler worm would run out of things to do and become irrelevant. So, the Beast is not accomplishing anything. The Defiler worm could do something, but is smart enough to know that she needs to keep the game going. The only face of the worm that could do this is the Consumption worm. And where's the Consumption worm currently?
It got banished, but then again, it took a whole tribe with it.
Yeah. And there is a little piece of the Consumption worm out in outer space called Wormwood. That's what it's implied to be.
Real?
Yeah, that's in Times of Judgment Apocalypse, that red star, that's a piece of the Consumption worm.
Yeah, shit, okay.
That's a teeny tiny piece of it though. And in Gehenna, I guess he falls from the sky and causes the withering.
In a sense, yeah.
Yeah. So behold, the guy that will destroy all vampires is actually the Consumption worm.
In a sense, sure.
Yeah.
Because they're a metaphorical entity.
So we wait for the day that never comes in Werewolf the Apocalypse, where the Consumption worm would have caused apocalypse, but now that's never going to happen, and we just wait for Weaver Ascending to happen.
I mean, to be fair, the world canonically ended on exactly 2000.
And we're still here.
Yep.
That's the world of darkness. This isn't real life. Stop it.
It ended in 2004 because White Wolf ran out of money.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then as it turns out, the world didn't end, and we're still here. And now fucking Renegade Studios has no idea what they're doing with this IP.
You should hire us to do it.
It is.
No, we should not.
If I won the lottery, I would just buy the IP off of these guys already.
It'd be great.
To be fair, I don't even trust myself to manage the lore correctly.
I need to go and become a career gambler and then get the money to do this.
But I want to say one thing here. One of the fetishes, I'm sorry for getting off track, is very fun to me.
Read it. Read
the magic trench coat. That is the fetish, the magic trench coat.
The magic trench coat. It turns you into 3 little boys all sitting on each other's shoulders.
Yeah, basically, with a magic trench coat, it's a level 4 or for Gen 06. It allows you to hide anything inside of it.
It is.
So you could hide other Garou in it. That's funny.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
And there we go. So, Kyle, I feel like we understand the Umbra now?
Kinda. There's a lot to unpack here.
There is a lot, which is why we've held off this topic for so long. It's because of just how abstract this is.
Yes.
This one's disgusting. The Moon Silver Whip.
We'll have time for one more finish. Read off what it does.
Okay, level 5, Genos 9. It's a difficulty 7 to attack, but it does 4 damage of aggravated damage because it's silver. The bonus thing is it does double damage against Garou and Worm, so that's 8 damage.
Damn.
And if you get 5 successes on the attack roll, you are entangled, and the whip can't be broken or dull.
Very
so nice. I don't care if you use Might of Thor, you can't break the whip.
Nope. You gotta have some weapons to stop these power gamers.
All right. I'm done. It's just that whip is disgusting.
It is. All right. Shanny, any ideas from you?
No. This is very interesting. Although, the Shadowlands are a completely different realm of the Umbra, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Weird. The Shadowlands run parallel, but are just right outside of being accessible.
They're
Unless
like
Giovanni.
If you wanted to consider the Umbra is like the normal Umbra, then the dead Umbra.
And there we go. We have now hit time, and we're out of gas.
Yes. These planes are weird. There's so many of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
I'm still tripped out about the planets.
And at the same time, once again, this Umbra, you can do whatever you want with this place.
Yeah, the Umbra is very confusing. You have to actually explain to a lot of people when you say, no, there is no such thing as space.
Theoretically, we could do another episode on the Umbra from a mage perspective.
That'd be even longer.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember some people in the Discord were confused when you say, no, what do you mean? There's no sun, there's just soul.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yep.
And it basically, and they asked, but the technocracy, that's why.
Right. All right. Cut the cord here. We're done.
All right. Good night, everybody.
All right.
Have a good night, guys.
All right. GN.